Hello and welcome to the Drummergy Podcast, episode 148 on this fine October 14th, 2025. I am here with the one and only Mr. Rick Oliver. Welcome, Rick.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here. It's 7 a.m. Yay!
Right. Every single person, like when I tell them, okay, you got to be here by 6:45. We'll do a little sound check, make sure we're in there, and they're like, because it's you, Fred. We'll. But once we're in, everybody's like, man, it's like doing a gig, but it's at 7 a.m.
Yes, yeah.
Instead of 9 p.m.
Yeah, and 2 hours, but you say the 2 hours go by pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really all right. Well, no, I'm fine with that.
I could try
anything for you, Fred. It's okay.
Everybody when somebody says like, how are you able to do that? I was like, I'm Fred Fisher.
Of course, you get it done.
And then I taught Mary, how to do the same.
Okay.
And
you drag her into this too
Yeah.
at 6:45 in the morning.
Yeah. Let's do we didn't sound check your mic, Mary.
Hello,
so we're gonna
sound
check.
Hello,
We're doing it
please
live.
pull forward.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Go ahead.
Hello, please pull forward.
Oh yeah, you're there.
Okay.
Yep, you're there.
There you go. Well, Mary's got that golden voice too, you know. Yeah.
She does. She's here to make sure everything rolls smoothly.
Where would Casio Dreams be without her?
Oh,
I know.
Hey.
so sweet.
Oh, I'm plugging everybody this morning. I'm coming in hot, baby. I'm coming in hot.
There wouldn't be any dream in the Casio dream.
Oh no,
It'd just be Casio.
Oh, I can see
Casio
it,
nightmares.
That's right. That's right. Well, Rick is a concert promoter, a talent buyer, artist management, a connoisseur of music in general. And it's just so cool to finally have you here because I've known you for a few years now.
Yeah.
And done some shows that you've put together and those are cool. And
yeah. Well, you got to put on cool shows,
Yeah.
right? I mean, if they're not cool, who's
I'm
coming
Fred
out?
Fisher.
And you're Fred Fisher, right?
Oh no.
And you drum for the Cliff Miller band, right?
That's right.
Oh, whoever calls first.
Yes. I need multiple phones. I need the Cliff phone and the
Man, I love
phone.
that guy. Cliff is my dude, man.
Oh yeah.
And thanks for showing up out in Fairfield a couple weeks ago, man. You made that thing really pop.
Thanks.
You know? Yeah, you guys kill it. You kill it all the time.
I think that particular event has potential for some serious growth there.
Yeah, for sure.
That'll
For sure. I mean, people really don't think about Fairfield, Idaho too much, but they have Soldier Mountain there.
Mhm.
It's on the way to Haley and Ketchum, Valley, that area. So it could be a little pit stop there. And they got a great little hotel there, the Prairie Inn, which is where I stayed. And it was, pretty nice, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think most people just, they're going 80 miles an hour.
Exactly.
They're like,
exactly.
we're the cops, and they just burp. But I'd never pulled
Valley.
in there before until that event.
Well,
and I was like, well, there's a park here? What the heck?
Man, there's a pizza shop there. Mama Mandy's Pizza, right? So we're coming back, and my friend says, hey, let's stop and get pizza. I'm thinking, pizza in Fairfield, Idaho?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
But I'm hungry, right? So I'm like, all right, let's do it. It was one of the top 5 pizzas I've ever eaten, and I'm from New York.
I believe it.
I love my pizza.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great. And they were doing a reunion, like a high school reunion. So there was a bunch of people in there singing karaoke. So I walk in and, I'm the only black guy there, which, I'm kind of used to in Idaho,
Sure.
And so right away they want me to sing, and I'm like, I'm not singing. I'm just here for pizza.
Yeah.
But as it turns out, the owner, somehow we got to talking and she's like, I go, well, what are you doing here? She's, well, I got the pizza shop here, but I want to do a music festival.
Oh, yeah.
I said, a music festival? She goes, I go in Fairfield. She goes, yeah, we want to save our rodeo. So I go, you know what? That's all I do. That's what I do.
Sure.
I build festivals from the ground up. I go, she goes, well, let me give you my card. Call me back. Call me in a couple of days. And I did. And we made the connection. I started calling up different bands and, got a feel for the place. And, from there, I think we're pretty successful.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was kind of a narrow time frame that all happened.
Yeah, it happened in like 6 weeks, man.
Oh,
like,
wow.
And that's unheard of,
Right.
So
normally you're like 6-8 months.
Exactly. But it was a smaller event, and it was it wasn't a real problem other than the marketing and promo side of it. But it turned out to be really, really good. And thank you guys again for, being a part of that and headlining.
sure,
I don't know if you know this, but there was a rumor,
I heard.
halfway through it, right? And they were like, "Hey, I hear Cliff Miller's not going to show," and I'm thinking, whatever. I know Cliff. Cliff will be here. If he's on his deathbed, he would make sure somebody came to tell me he wouldn't make it.
He would,
So then someone else came up to me and they were like, "Hey, I heard Cliff Miller's not going to make it." And I go, "I'm not even going to bother him. Like, I know he's coming."
Yeah.
And then finally the event organizer came over and said, "Hey, I heard Cliff Miller's not going to be here." I go, "Cliff will be here." So I go, "Well, I better text." And I go, you guys were doing at 6, took stage at 6. I go, he called me, go, "Hey, what's it looking like?" He goes, "ETA 3:00. And I was like, "Dude's got plenty of time," So, and then you guys went on without a hitch. It was great.
Thank you.
Thanks a bunch.
We did hear that floating around.
Why is that?
Because I drove separately for that one.
Oh, okay.
So Cliff is an avid hunter. And so he disappears during September, October, and November.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not in that world at all. So I don't. I know it exists, but I
right.
I have no connection whatsoever.
Yeah, same.
And so he and his family stayed there because they were doing some hunting trip or whatever. So I drove separately, but I got there and Cliff's like, "Well, there's some rumors around that we weren't going to show up today." And I was like, "What?"
What?
Cliff, like you said, something would have to be really wrong for Cliff to not even communicate.
He's the guy. So I
Soul Tree Lounge is here hanging out.
Soul Tree Robert, my man, what's happening? Wow. He just came through for me too at the Sandbar.
Oh, yeah?
Oh.
Did a phenomenal job. Oh, my
Nice.
goodness. I think it was his first time there in a while. But, man, I was taken aback. They did some Santana. Man, they did a couple of covers. It was great. They were so good. Usually when it starts raining out there, people take off. They stop eating. They're like, "I'm out of here."
Oh.
Right.
People stayed. They waited it out, and they killed it, man. Soul Tree Lounge. So, yeah, we got a lot more work to do, my man. And I don't mean that working on work, but I mean getting you booked.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing up this morning too.
Very
my
cool.
guy.
Very cool.
I also did Soul Food Festival this past year, so I had Soul Tree Lounge.
Does that happen in the park?
It happens at Julia Davis Park.
Okay. In the band shell?
In the band show,
Okay.
yeah. So
we played it that once.
Did you?
A long time ago.
Okay. Yeah, it's been going on for a while. They changed different names: Soul Food Extravaganza, Soul Food Festival.
Yeah.
It's been a few different names, but always with the soul in there. So
right.
when you hear soul, come out. Well, especially if you hear soul and Rick Oliver or Rick's Entertainment Group.
That's right.
We do
Rick's Entertainment Group is RIX.
Yeah, RIX. Yeah, kind of
Group.
I felt a little.
.com.
Yeah, there you go.
Speaking of the Soul Food Festival, so I think when I played that with you, Mel Swint was.
Mel.
Did you ever know Mel Swint?
Mel Swint,
Uncle Mel.
Oh no, Mel died before.
No,
He did. Are you sure?
The name sounds familiar.
He died. He died a long time before Rick.
I think I can't remember if he had moved here from New York or Chicago, but he was involved with NWA, as security. And
okay, you know what? That name sounds familiar. And I've been doing music here for over 20 years, 25 years.
Well, then maybe okay.
I would
he
think
hasn't been
that
on
you
that
would
long.
have crossed paths with.
I'm
Mel
sure we
Swint,
have. I'm getting older, man. My memory isn't what it used to be.
But he passed away a few years ago, right?
Probably I think before COVID.
Before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly for sure, but I used to do work for him when I had my landscape business. And
okay.
And
Uncle Mel.
Uncle Mel. Yeah. But he like I said, he did security for NWA, and then he was artist management with
I don't remember.
Just who was the guy that had the big clock hanging around his neck?
Oh,
why am I spacing on that?
Oh, what do you call it? What's his name? With the clock. You're making me draw a blank now. Yeah. Oh man.
Come on, producer Google.
Yeah. What's his name? Come on, something tip of my tongue. Everybody knows him.
I know, right?
He was dating Bridget Nielsen for a while.
Just
right.
Totally...
And he had some reality show.
Yeah.
What's Flavor Flav? Flavor Flav.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did he bring him out here at all, or?
No, I think he just worked with them in the past.
Probably a good idea. Flavor probably wouldn't know how to chop it up out here.
Jim Reidenbaugh's here. Good morning.
Jim, what's happening, my man?
Yeah. All right. So Rick, producer, I don't know how I end up doing these in the reverse order, but
What?
I usually start this with the goofy holidays of the day. So are you ready to hear what kind of ridiculousness we're
The crazy
celebrating today?
holidays.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Get it.
Today is National Dessert Day.
Oh.
Are you a sweets guy?
Mm-hmm. You betcha.
How do you stay in shape if you're a sweets guy?
Who's staying in shape?
Well, you're in better shape than I am.
Well, maybe you could eat more sweets than I do.
Well, that could be. I always remember how to spell dessert because it has 2 S's, and somebody told me once it's because you want to go backward seconds.
My mom said that.
Was it? Well,
Yeah.
I think it's just been and so I never mistake dessert with desert because you go back for seconds. You got the 2 S's. in it.
Right. Well, I gotta tell you, I'm kind of old school and I love to cook. So
Oh, yeah?
I make a killer banana pudding, which is one of my
Ooh.
favorites, and I do it from scratch.
Wow.
I can make my own custard, and it's a hit whenever I show up with it.
Sure.
And I'm
Wow.
like, I don't think I can make it, to your event. They're like, well, just make some banana pudding, drop it off, and kick rocks.
Is
You
it,
know,
is it in your car?
no, it's not in my car, but you'll get to taste it one day.
Like you walked in with your coffee cup. I don't see any.
Well, yeah, it's my product placement. Yoga
Oh, yeah.
Tria Boise and Yoga Tria Boise Foundation. So yeah, this is going to keep me going for a little bit.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
and I've done some work with those guys too. Done some fundraisers for them.
Yoga Tree.
Yoga
Boise.
Tria Boise. Yeah, they do this. They have a Yoga Tria Boise Foundation, which they're trying to keep alive, and they do a lot of great things for the community. They give scholarships, things like that. We had a fundraiser at Heritage Social a little bit before it closed. Who did I have on that show? I had Ashley Rose. I had Michael Britton. And guess who else was there? Cassio Dreams.
Wow.
Yeah, Mary was there too. Yeah, and they killed it.
Yeah.
And they wound up doing okay. But and that they're gonna have another one coming up. Speaking of Heritage Social, I'm not too happy that they closed. I mean,
I think there's a lot of people that aren't really excited about the doors
Yeah.
closing.
Yeah.
And I know nothing about the whole situation.
Yeah. Well,
people want to like theorize about what happened or whatever their business model may or may not have been. And I don't know.
I know Cody, the owner, Cody Kachia. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. And we've done a bunch of work together. And I know he was doing all that he could. You
Sure.
know, and I always had fun working with him. And it was a great venue. But sometimes these things take time to grow.
Yeah.
So, and it can be frustrating. Dealing with musicians and bands. Not always easy, let me tell you.
I'm one of those people.
Well, Fred, you're a walk in the park, but I mean, I've worked with some pretty big musicians. And it's
Sure.
like, you know what?
Yeah.
One more freaking word, we won't be doing this show.
Mhm.
Like we don't have to do it. I'm not going through all that.
Yeah.
Life's too short, and the days of the prima donnas and all that kind of giving people a hard time. All the purple M&Ms, that kind of stuff. Those days are over. Those days are over, man.
For
I'm
sure.
sorry.
Well, my main band that I've been a part of for 28 years or so, we've with Midline opening up for lots and lots of national acts.
Yeah.
And it seems like the acts that have a larger name or been around a lot longer seem to be easier to deal with than the up and coming groups.
Yeah,
who
man.
there's a certain way they carry themselves.
Yeah,
you
because you
and-
already know.
right,
you've
they've been
there.
around the block
Yeah, you
and-
have. And you
Yeah.
don't really have anything to prove, right? Everybody knows
Right.
who you are, so you don't go in with, this attitude, like some of the up and coming stars, celebrities,
Yeah.
they have something to prove, and they're like, hey, I'm the boss. This is what I do. But like I said, it doesn't really fly.
Right. Yeah. I just want every show I play, no matter where it is, to be a successful show.
Right.
And I personally want to play the best I can play.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I want it to be a great experience for myself and for those that are coming to
You want your fans to,
because there's always going to be a problem no matter what
no matter what.
and so if you're already in that mindset of, hey, I'm here to solve problems. I'm here to entertain. I'm here to play music. What little hitch comes along seems like, oh, really? Let's.
And the more you do, the easier it is to deal with them.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's like, it's no big deal, as a producer or director or, stage manager, whatever position I'm in, artist relations, that happens all the time.
Sure. Yeah.
But, I think if you're proactive and you're working with your talent, and you're working with good talent, professionals, and,
Right.
and they've been doing it for a while, it's not really a problem.
Yeah.
The show must go on. Everybody knows this, and we're all on the same page.
Exactly.
So if a little hiccup comes, like, hey, Cliff Miller's not going to show, I'm like, whatever. You know what I mean? So, I already know, I know he's on his way. So,
Yeah.
little things like that.
And I think, because I know Cliff so well.
Yeah.
He's one of my best friends. And if you would have just messaged him, say, hey, we still good for today? He'd have been, oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no, we already got the date, we got the time, we got the venue. You know what I mean? It's like, I won't even call him in the morning because I know it's on his calendar.
Well, Cliff's a good businessman.
Yeah, and I've worked with him enough to know this.
Yeah.
Now there's some other artists I'd be like, hey man, where you at?
Right.
Like you didn't forget about this, did you? And I'll call him 2 days before, and I'll count down, even the day of, I'll be like, hey man, where you at? You ready for this? Let's get it done, But it's rare because, I just don't like dealing with difficult artists, difficult venues, difficult people, As you get older, as I get older, it's more about the energy, right? You can feel the energy. You're young, you don't know. The drummergy. Speaking of the drummergy, exactly. So, when you're young, and you're growing up, you just think, oh, I don't like that person, or that's bad, or whatever. But it's actually energy, and the older I get, the more I connect with it, So, if I'm somewhere and someone comes in and I feel that negative energy, I'm just like, hi, and
right,
good, nice to meet you, and carry on.
Right,
carry on.
It's not energy, it's drummergy.
Ooh,
drummergy.
Drummergy.
That's the. A lot of people think that just only has to do with drumming, but
no,
it's that whole vibe.
It's
right?
the whole vibe. Yeah, 100%. I'll be honest, I get along with drummers so well. I don't know why. It's like maybe I was a drummer in a past life.
Maybe.
That there's another drummer in town now, John Paisano, who Jukebox John.
Jukebox John.
Hey John, I'm gonna even the score here. Hey Fred, how come you can't play more like John Paisano? Well, even John.
I can.
Yeah. No. Hey, I didn't say that. Hey,
sorry, Johnny. Sorry, Johnny.
He's not even tuned in. He's not even tuned in, so he won't know.
He doesn't know.
He's still rolling over. He's like, whatever. I don't have time for those guys.
It's not 11 a.m. yet.
No, exactly. No, but he's a good guy and actually really good friend.
He is. I don't know why my left eye keeps watering.
Oh,
maybe he's gonna have good luck or something. That's what that means.
I'm just overcome with emotion with you being here.
Oh, behave yourself.
Wow.
Ding ding. James says, now I'm craving banana pudding.
Who's that, James?
James Harrison.
Oh, okay.
James is over in Virginia.
Oh, in Virginia. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
He used to be here.
Okay. Well, he knows old-fashioned banana pudding.
I'm sure he does.
Like Mama used to make from scratch. None of this, Jell-O vanilla pudding stuff.
Right. But that's my style of cooking, is to open the box, pour the thing, water.
What?
Nah. No, that's not real cooking, man.
Yeah, Fred, what are you talking about?
I'm saying that's
more of how
that's my speed.
I know.
Or
did you hear him just say he added water to the pudding mix?
Or milk, or I don't know. What do you put?
You don't even know.
So who else was a good drummer? Actually, he was a pretty famous drummer. Pete Magadini.
Yes.
Oh, Peter Magadini.
Pete Magadini, I was in Chandler's one night and I heard this guy playing. I was like, man, he's, that's not
something a little different.
Yeah. It is a little different, right? And he took a break and sat and he came over and introduced himself and said, hey, I hear you're Rick Oliver. I hear you could get me some gigs. I go, playing like that? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And we talked for a little bit. We had lunch a couple of days later. And as it turns out, man, he was Diana Ross's first drummer when she left the Supremes, right?
Yeah.
So and he's got like 4 books out on, polyrhythmics, right? So, but he's really humble. So you don't know, you really don't, you don't know how big he is, which is how I like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's not bragging. He's 80 something years old. I
Right.
think maybe 80, 81, somewhere around there. But just the kindest man. So he tells me this story. He goes, we just finished our first gig, or we just finished our first set. I'm the only white guy in the room. I'm with all these Motown, musicians, and I'm hanging out. And he says, and this black guy walks through the green room, and they're eating, and he goes, "Hey man, who are you?" He goes, "Oh, I'm Pete Magadini. I'm Diana Ross's drummer." He's proud and happy to be there. And they do some more small talks. So he goes, "Man, well, how about you?" He goes, "I'm just down the hall recording some stuff." He goes, "Well, man, what's your name?" He goes, "Marvin Gaye."
What?
I go, "What?" So, and he tells me all these more stories about Michael Jackson and Barry Gordy, right? So I go, "Wait a minute, time out. We need to do a show." I said, "We need to do a show. It'll be a Q&A. I know exactly how to make this thing work, right?" And I'm hyped. And he goes, "Well, I got to talk to my wife about it." And he talks to her. He gives me a call back a few hours later. He goes, "Rick, we're in. Let's do the show."
Yeah.
So I go, "This will be great, right? We'll do a Q&A session. There'll be a couch." And so it's all in my head. Once I get it, once this gets going, it's done. So I go, "We'll do it. I think we could do it at the Sapphire Room, right? Perfect location.
Sure.
Very intimate. We'll sell tickets. We'll talk about, your history with Diana Ross, Barry Gordy. Get to Diana Ross. I'll have some lights down, then go up on whoever we have singing Diana Ross songs, lights down, back to us. We'll talk about Marvin Gaye, and then the same thing."
Yeah.
And I go, "Give me about a month. Let me get everything lined up. Let me see if we can secure the venue." And I really didn't talk about it much, but I had this sense of urgency because I really wanted to do this. And I was cleaning my house, and he given me an autographed drum cover. And it just fell out. And I was like, "Oh, shoot, I got to call Pete and let him know that, we're going to nail this thing, lock it in." And it was late on a Sunday night. So I said, "I'll wait till Monday morning to let him know." And that Monday morning when I woke up, his wife had posted something that he had a very aggressive cancer and he was gone. And it dropped me to my knees, because he was such a good guy.
Yeah.
Such a good guy. But
I met him November of 20, I believe.
Yeah, it was during. Yeah,
so,
2020.
the world was just going nuts and all of that.
Yeah,
garbage.
yeah.
And I got an email from him. I didn't know who he was. I never met him or anything, but he sent me this email introducing himself. And he said, "I found you because I Googled drum lessons Boise." And he said, "I'm in town," and said, that he had been Diana Ross's drummer, and he had some instructional books, and whenever he's traveling, he likes to see what the drum teaching situation is in the city, and he likes to just go meet people.
Yeah.
And so I quickly Googled Peter Magadini, and I was like,
"Oh, this is real."
"Oh, okay. Hey, great to meet you." So he came over and he sat right there in the control room, and man, he and I just hit it off. And
great guy, man.
He's so good. And he had asked me a couple questions. One was, "How do you count triplets?" He wanted to know how I counted triplets. And I said 1 and a 2 and a 3. He's like, "Perfect."
Yeah, right. He's not doing anything different. Right.
And then he asked me, like, "How soon do you get your students using their hi-hat foot?" And I said, "As soon as possible." And he goes, "We can be friends." He said we could be friends. And so he hadn't lived here yet. He was still in Chicago, but his son had moved to Meridian, I think, or Boise. And so we stayed in touch. And one of the things he said, he's like, "Do I have to wear a mask?" And I'm like, "No, you don't have to wear a mask. Just come hang out." So we did, and we ordered a pizza and sat right there and for like 3 hours.
Yeah, he had to
I
keep.
really miss Pete. He was a good guy, really good storyteller, man. I remember he bought over a bunch of memorabilia that Diana Ross given him, and Barry Gordy, and he showed me these old photos, and it was just like, wow, man.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. I'm an old Motown guy. That's what I grew up listening to, so I was very impressed, and intrigued.
He asked me, like, he's like, "Where's the jazz place?" And I said, "Chandler's. You got to go down there and meet who's playing." And I said, that's your deal. And so he's like, "Okay." So he went down there, and
well, I think David Gluck is usually on drums, or someone. Oh, what's his name? I can't remember his name.
John Heineman.
John Heineman's keys. He's the band.
No,
leader.
he plays drums.
Does he play? Oh yeah. John Heineman. Yes, you're right. There's one other guy. Greg. not Zelensky, but it's
about Greg
Bolesky. Yeah.
Why am I not saying his name right?
I
It's
can't,
something like
sorry,
that.
Greg. I didn't mean to butcher your name. But yeah, so when I saw Pete there, I was like, whoa, okay, yeah. And Chandler's has great jazz, man. You know, Rex Chandler's had that place for a while, and I used to live up in the Sun Valley area, and I remember when he had it up there, you know, but he's turned it into something really fantastic. And I don't know if you know, he's part of Ling and Louie's over by the
I did not know that.
Yeah, by the Riverside.
Okay.
Actually, Johnson Brothers Hospitality and Rex Chandler. I think they're partners with that.
Gotcha.
Boy, I'm just giving everybody shout outs, right? Hope everybody hears this because I'll be around for checks.
You're like a NASCAR jacket.
Like
Pennzoil, Home Depot.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That's your dreams.
There you go. Don't give me any ideas, man. I'll show up next time on your show with one of those jackets.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we went a long way from dessert day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What happened?
No.
So what does that mean? And who started dessert day? Like,
I don't know. If you just Google like every day,
National
like what's the
Dessert Day.
national holiday, or there's always something that's out there that's kind of fun or cute or ridiculous, and it's also Face Your Fears Day. What kind of
Face Your Fear?
What kind of fears do you have, Rick?
Oh, I don't like
None?
heights, man.
You don't like heights?
I don't like heights. Yeah, I have vertigo, man. So it's kind of tough for me. To when I fly, or sometimes driving even, because with the vertigo, I have a sensation that I'm falling off. You fall off the road, or
Yeah.
Actually, I can watch a movie with if the mountains are too high, I'll be like, gotta close my eyes and start over again.
Yeah.
But so that's pretty much the only thing that I can think of. I'm sure there's much more, but right off the top of my head, yeah.
I get the heights thing a little bit. Like if I'm in a parking garage or something and you go to the edge and you look, I have trouble getting to the edge now.
Ferris wheels.
Now here's an interesting little thing about parking garages and heights. There, where Jump is downtown.
Yeah, sure.
Right across the street is another parking garage. I think it's the one that has the condos and stuff attached to it.
Yeah.
That's right across from the
Yeah, it's
hockey
above like
arena.
Five Guys and all that.
Whatever that parking garage
Yeah.
is. So a lot of times I find myself circling all the way to the top, and you park there, and right across the street in big letters is Jump. Like,
oh wow.
okay, right? So you're on the parking garage, and right there at the very top in big letters across the street, it says Jump. Then the sign that's right on the concrete thing says like some suicide prevention.
Oh well, how
phone
appropriate.
number.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they thought about that.
Right. So you have this little placard right there that's telling you,
Jeez.
somebody loves you, or I don't remember how it was worded, but it was like, but just right there at the same time as this.
It probably was an afterthought, right? They're like, it says we're up here in the parking garage in the top level, and across the way it says Jump.
Right?
People are probably contemplating that.
So that's
crazy.
That just
if you're suicidal,
it seemed. Would that be irony?
Yeah. But that's not something I should be taking lightly.
No.
It's weird.
Yeah, but it's kind of ironic though, isn't it?
It is.
So I'm gonna toot my own horn here for a minute. So
yeah,
speaking of suicide, I'm on the board of directors with the Boise Hive, and our mission is talks about mental health issues, suicide prevention, that kind of thing. And we have really, really reasonable space for musicians. You probably rehearsed there.
I've been there. Yeah,
I was there last Wednesday. Yeah, not Boise High, which is the school.
Okay.
Hive, which is it's rehearsal music.
Yeah, the rehearsals.
Kind of yeah. But we focus a lot on suicide prevention, so I wasn't trying to make light of that or anything like that. Just want to get that out there and clear that up. Jason Ringlesetter.
Is Jason part of that?
Yeah, he's on the board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, wow. He actually, we just talked yesterday.
Oh, nice.
We got a fundraiser coming up. I think we're going to use Jeff Crosby over at Shrine. He's going to kick it off, and it's that time of year again. We got to keep that place going.
Yeah, that's a venue where that's being utilized quite a bit.
Oh yeah,
recently.
And it's been around forever.
It's
funny. We talked about that. We had a retreat on Saturday, and we kind of talked about what we're going to do, some of our goals moving forward. And and one of them was like, we should probably get a facelift. Nothing too crazy, but small facelift. try to attract younger people, young
Yeah.
audiences and things like that. But yeah, it's been around for a while. Yeah, so Jason's the chair of that, and he talked me into jumping on board.
There you go.
Yeah, I've known Jason for 20-something years. He used to be an engineer at this place called Death Dog Studios back in the day.
Yep.
And I used to manage a boy band.
Okay.
And we would go, Broken Silence was the name of the band, and we would go in there and record. And Jason just did a killer job, man. Yeah. So that's how I know Jason.
That's when I first met Jason, was when he had the Deaf Dog studio in Midline and recorded there. And then like immediately after, you may know, I don't know, but that there was some weirdness with the ownership.
And
they vandalized the studio really bad.
Yeah.
And because it's a beautiful studio,
Mhm.
and we were in there recording, and then to go in there and see the studio glasses all broken and a big holes in the wall, and the floor torn up, and I mean,
there was some issues with the owner, not with Jason, though,
right, exactly.
It was with the owner, and Jason wound up buying the place. So went from Deaf Dog to Tonic Room.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jason, I'll be by to pick up a check from you too. Well, some free recording time.
Add
There you go.
Room
There
patch
you go.
to your jacket.
Tom is here. Kickmole. Did I say Tom's last name correctly? Tom, did I say your last name correctly? Kickmole.
Oh yeah, Tom, what's happening, my man? Thanks for Friday as well.
Fred and Rick, thoughts on great drummers being replaced in big bands like U2 and Rush? And best way to promote. Same sound, different band. What are our thoughts on different drummers in these big bands? Well, in all of those situations, none of us know what's happening on the inside of the circle.
Right.
So as fans of the band, or what we might think we might do in that situation, is completely irrelevant because we're not on the inside of that circle.
Right.
So how do you have a new drummer come into a band? Like the big thing right now is Rush with Annika Niles is coming into drum.
Right.
And some people are excited about that, and some people are upset about it. Like, how could they possibly be Rush and it's not Neil anymore? And like, just his presence and his contribution to the band and lyric writing was such a huge part of that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm thinking, a lot of people want to hear that music still. And a lot of people still love the other two guys in the band. And I would have to assume that, producer, you look like you're going to say something.
Well, I would think that the two guys still want to play.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they do.
And I would think that Neil Peart would say, go, find another drummer. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep it going, man. I mean, because that would be kind of selfish of him to say, well, you can't play anymore.
Right.
If I'm going, you're out.
Well, the other thing is Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson are very smart people. And they're not going to just have anybody.
That's what I was going to say. And
right?
that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, absolutely. So they know what they're looking for. They know the sound.
Yeah.
And then, the drummer that is eventually going to get there is going to be, a really great drummer, and he can adapt, and figure it out. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And they made it really clear in the videos that I've seen that they're going to do something to honor Neil Peart for every show.
Yeah.
And that they were going to possibly have a keyboard player, so that would free up Geddy Lee a little bit more to move around the stage. And so I think it's going to be more than just three people on stage doing this.
Yeah.
Doing the show. And I think it's going to be great.
Yeah,
I really do.
I do too. And if you got a consummate professional, they're gonna, like I said, they're gonna adapt.
Exactly.
They're gonna make it happen.
And with Annika being in there, I think she's going to be under a lot of scrutiny from fans and drummers, and so that's
but you've got a female drummer now in this huge band, and I think that's going to inspire a lot of girls.
I agree.
You're absolutely,
and I told Fred, because he taught me how to play drums, like, when was that, 2009 or 8 or somewhere back, and then I had to play drums for this thing for church, and for this we had a Celebrate Recovery program, and the drummer that was supposed to be in the band relapsed, and we needed a drummer, and Fred was too busy, so he taught me how to play drums on these 5 songs. I'm like, okay, I'm a drummer now. I told him, I said, if you had just kept working with me, I could be the drummer for Rush right now.
Female drummers rock.
They do.
Female musicians rock. Females rock.
They do.
Right?
Yeah.
So I love going to see, all female bands, and I really like female drummers, Sheila E. growing up was one of my favorites. Oh my God. Oy vey. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Sheila E. And she's still doing it, man.
She is. She's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, she is.
I mean, she's gorgeous for one, and she's just
a
top-notch drummer. And
Sheila, if you're listening to this, or if someone someone who knows,
I got Rick's phone
number.
number.
Come on out. Yeah, you got my phone number. We'll fix it. We'll fix it right up.
We'll have you on the podcast.
Yeah, we're keeping his business,
Yeah.
Get Sheila on the Drummergy podcast.
Now that would be something, right? That would be like a Mount Rushmore of guests.
But we have a lot of musicians, national acts, touring acts that come through here or that live here. I mean, Michael E, because he played with the Righteous Brothers or toured with them for I think 10, 15 years. And man, he gets on that, he's on keys, man, and he gets on that keyboard, man. He'll take it to church, and he plays with the Jeff Engelbert band, right? But he's like, Jeff Engelbert is like, dude, forget it. Like people, not a lot of people, but people don't know what the quality of musicians we have here. Yeah. We have them all from different genres, and once they get on stage and they start performing, you're like, you know what? Like, whoa, sure. That dude ain't no local. That dude's been around. So I mean, he's coming up with coming up with the Jeff Engelbert band, Sapphire Room, December 12th. I'm just doing all kinds of plugs here, man. So I love it. I love it. So get your tickets because they're going fast. Yeah. They're going really fast. But before that, let me get a couple of other plugs in here.
Okay.
Before that, Thanksgiving Eve, the night before Thanksgiving, I got Jukebox at the Sapphire Room.
Yeah.
Speaking to John Paisano, and it's going to be killer. Yeah. So if you got the family in town, you're looking for something to do, come on out to the Riverside Hotel. That's Wednesday, November 26th.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, get your tickets. Like I said, they're going fast. He will sell out.
John's getting a big fat check.
Sean's getting a big fat something.
Oh my God.
Yeah. John, you should be up listening to this, but that's okay.
I want to go back to Sheila E for a minute.
Yeah, let's go back to Sheila E.
That's so awesome that you brought her up. So I have this thing. I don't think I'm an island to myself in the thoughts of this, but I think that when you're a musician and you get on stage, you should look like you belong on stage. So I'm not a fan of the flip-flops or shorts. Let's take Michelle Eastland, for example. When she's in the room, you notice her.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Because the way she's dressed.
And she's got that energy too.
Yeah. And then she gets on stage, right? She's not, she's a performer.
Right.
Without even, if you knew nothing about her and you saw her.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly.
She's part of the band, right?
Yeah.
And so I think she's a really great example of like, okay, you're pro level.
You have to, right? And stage presence is so important, man.
It is
so important, and people don't get it,
Yeah.
But it's got to, like.
She's not looking at a music stand. She
no.
doesn't have an iPad on stage.
No.
Right? She looks like she belongs there. She knows her material. This
is group that keeps popping up on my my social media pages, and there's this band, and they do covers and events, and everybody's got an iPhone on a stand, so I texted it. I was like, "Hey, dude, learn the songs, lose the iPads." Like to me, it's just like it's a killer, And it just kills the vibe, bro. It's like
I want to entertain you, Rick.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, and you don't know the words
in front of my
you
face.
don't know the words to the song.
Right.
Like, you put some time in, do your work.
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah. So we agree on that for sure. Right on. So I hope that group is listening. I won't say your names, but
you know who you are.
You know who you are. So
and I have a thing about shoes too. Like,
oh gosh, Fred.
Like,
don't get me started.
Michelle looks so great, but imagine Michelle wearing what she does, and then she's wearing like the shoes she mows the lawn in, right? That wouldn't make sense. So I've been pretty vocal. I've been really vocal about like no shorts or flip-flops or or I made a post one time where I'm like, these musicians, they have cool pants on and a shirt, but your shoes suggest you're ready to mow the lawn in a moment's notice.
Yeah, shoes.
So okay, if you're on stage and you're the audience, What's at your eye level? Your feet.
Right.
And legs.
Right. And you know,
You want to look at somebody's
especially
especially
if they're not well manicured, you know what I mean? You know, it doesn't really matter either, but you know, I agree. Even if it's an outdoor event, you know, I'm not trying to see all that.
Well, I and then people would comment like, well, I'd rather be comfortable. And I'm like, Sheila E. is wearing this sparkle dress with 4-inch platform heels playing the drums for 2 hours.
No shit.
Yeah. Do you think?
Yeah.
If Sheila E. can do it, and how old is Sheila E.?
Oh, I would never ask a woman her age. I'm not falling for that one.
She might be excited to tell you though, because she looks amazing, right?
Sheila E.
She looks amazing.
I'm not part of this disclosing your age, Sheila. Just so you know.
67.
67.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, it's been a long time. Wow, amazing. But yeah, so I'm totally with you there. Yeah. You know, I had this gal audition. This was years ago, and she could sing her butt off. Like, 'cause I had a show and I wanted someone to do a duet with a couple of the boys, and separately, of course. But she could sing all she wanted. She could sing all day long, but her stage presence was just horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, horrible.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had to talk with her. We interviewed and I said, hey, you know, great voice, but, and I'm not trying to tell you how to dress or anything like that. And I certainly don't want you to dress like a lady of the night, you know, but we need to change a few things up a little bit. And she got mad. I never heard back from her, you know, so, and that was cool, you know, because this is what's required and this is what's not.
Yeah.
But I saw her a year later, and this was years ago. And I saw her at a Live at the 5. I can't remember the band she was playing with, but everything I had suggested, she'd done. And she looked fantastic. You know, just amazing. So, you know, stage presence is very important. So
yeah, look like you belong there.
Look like you belong there.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's confidence too, right? You know, it's energy. You know, it's swag.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. I don't know where I would be with my way of thinking without some of the people that I've worked with.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was 20, I toured with a band from Florida, and this company put bands together and sent them on the road. And one of the managers of that company was Michael Jones, and Michael's in Nashville, and he managed Amy Grant and Michael W. Smith, a lot of Christian artists.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this thing. Well, first of all, you did what they said or you went home. They didn't have time for messing around.
Right.
They were going to train you how to be a performer, right?
Right.
The way that you dressed and how you moved on stage, your stage presence, and this larger than life persona.
Right.
And so that was just drilled into me on this. And I was on tour for 7 months. I wasn't home.
Wow.
I was playing drums like constantly. And so
that could be a tough life. People don't realize it, you know.
It is.
Musicians, and they're like, you know, it's all gravy. It can be tough. It can be very lonely as well.
Well, it's long hours, and it's, I mean, every job is work, right?
That's why they call it work, right?
Yeah. I just happen to really like that kind of work.
Yeah.
But I had that drilled into me. And then Midline worked for a couple of years with Bill Aucoin, who had been the manager for Kiss. And again, it's like when the stakes are high enough or they're that important to you, then you start accepting that advice from people.
Absolutely.
And
you don't know everything. As much as many people think that they do, you don't know everything. You know?
Yeah. I'm still learning.
Same every day.
I'm still learning, but it's just, it's interesting because Mary and I've had this discussion too, and I've talked about this on my shows over the last couple of years is there's this weird, maybe you could give me your perspective as a talent buyer or a concert promoter on how some of this integrates with your stage presence and how you look, how you present yourself as a band, and you as being a promoter, like, okay, I branded myself to be this way, to look this way, right or wrong. Like, what do you do with that? Like, how's that relevant to what you would do on your side of the
So fence, I gotta tell you, so, you know, talent first, right? So you have to, if you're up, well, not so much talent first, you know, not so much that, because, you know, Sonny and Cher were pretty good, but, Sonny couldn't carry a tune in a handbasket. Cher was the one,
Yeah.
who made it happen. So there's got to be some kind of cohesiveness
Sure.
to the band,
Mhm.
right? And you have to, you have to have stage presence and kind of have a personality where you can have, people eating out of the palm of your hand.
Sure.
And you can get that by singing, you can get that by looks, you can get that by dress, right? So
Yeah.
the overall picture is important. So I go and, of course, visual is the first thing you see.
Yeah.
So you see how the band is connected, what they look like, and then the talent, and from there, I start checking the boxes, marking the boxes.
Yeah.
But it's so important. And there's a lot of bands out there who kind of want to be better but don't take advice.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of bands, well, not a lot, but there's a few bands who are like, hey man, I want to be like Jukebox, right?
Mhm.
And I'm just using them as an example.
Sure.
Don't get your head big, John. A big head, John.
Right. Yeah.
So so I go, well, you should probably do this, that, and that, or, I'll give you John's number, he can advise, and he will. He's that kind of guy. I mean, we're a tight community, so we all look out for each other. And then, I go to see him, a year later, and nothing's changed.
Sure.
Nothing. So,
Yeah.
you have to put in the work. You can't just, look at a band or say, I want to be a lead singer. I want to be a vocalist. And, and you get hired by a band and, you don't put in the work.
Right.
You go to rehearsal and you don't know your songs. You don't know the music. You have to put in the work. Now, I'll tell you someone who's really serious about that. John, for one.
Yeah.
With the auditions and everything. And so is Jeff Engelberg. You go in there, you better be tight. Like, if you got a month to rehearse and, a couple of weeks to rehearse, give you enough time to know where you should know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you go down there and you sit down and you're not ready. It's like, hey, you can go, I'm not wasting my time.
Right.
And that's how a lot of the professionals are, and, with me too, I'm not going to waste my time booking someone who's going to make me look bad. I'm just not.
Right.
And part of my brand is, it's like, if you see Rick's Entertainment, RIX Entertainment, it's going to be a good show. I don't care what genre it is. It's going to be a good show.
Yeah.
So plugging myself now. Thank you.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
I think that anybody who's a talent buyer or a promoter is probably saying all the same things that you are.
Yeah.
They're making like this. Well, would you say that you're making an investment in them to have a successful show so that your business is successful too?
Absolutely.
So you kind of you represent that brand at the same time.
Right. And we can grow together.
Right. And so you want, not only are you representing them, but they're representing you kind of in a way too.
Yeah, it is,
But I think my experience, or what I see just observing, is some of these bands that are stuck with this thing mounted or an iPad or whatever to look at the lyrics, like they did.
It just takes something away now. And I know people right now going, hey, Rick, I do that, right?
Right.
And, and I know that, right? I get it. But,
yeah.
It's not written in stone. Obviously, if you're new to the band, but it's acceptable in under certain circumstances, but it's not ideal.
Right.
Right. So, you got a new band member, or you get so many songs, the songs were added, say, hey, I don't have time to learn it. I get that. I get it. But, don't let me see you 6 months down the road doing the same thing,
Well, like with Cliff Miller, for example, we'll have a kind of a revolving door of bass players that come through, and James Lancaster played bass with us a few times this past year. One show was an opening slot at the Knitting Factory, so I think we played 8 or 9 songs. James knew all of those like the back of his hand.
Mm-hmm.
But then the next show you're playing, you got 30 songs. That's a lot of material to absorb for a gig.
It is. It really is.
So James had like a 13-inch iPad, but he had it at his feet, and it was kind of behind the monitor, so he didn't really see it. And it was just so he could glance.
Yeah.
Well,
and say, okay, this is the songs in this key, and this is the structure, right?
Dude,
yeah.
Back in the day before there were iPhones, iPads, dude, you wrote it down on your bandmate's back, or you wrote it down on the floor,
right? Yeah,
you know what I mean,
yeah.
or you wrote it on something on the back of the wedges, or something, but you knew, like you had no choice,
right?
Either that or wing it.
Technology is great, and it has a lot of advantages. But when that, I don't know if lazy is the right word, or there's just something to me. Now, okay, Casio Dreams.
Oh,
Nobody's looking at the lyrics. Mary's not reading the lyrics off of something. Adam's not reading the lyrics off of something.
They rehearsed it. It's in their head, right?
And look at the growth of the band.
Man, I've booked you guys at private weddings and fundraisers. They have traction. They have a following. They're a good band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about them. You know what I mean? It's like you book them, and it's like, a Jason Shower, right? He's dude. He does a Rush tribute too, right?
He does. I haven't seen it yet, but
that dude can blow.
Right.
He's like he's got pipes.
Yeah.
Right. He's got pipes. So I was happy to see that he was singing with Casio Dreams at
the wedding.
The wedding, yeah. I had two
awesome.
shows that night. I had one for the private wedding, and then I had Jukebox at Heritage Social. So and I like to go over and touch the venue that that I booked at. You want to make sure everybody's okay.
Sure.
It's a wedding. It's it's a personal client. I want her to get her money's worth.
Yeah.
And I want the band to be happy. So I think that was a pretty good wedding too.
It was. It was a lot of fun.
I saw the bride Friday. They were at a Robert's a sultry lounge event.
Okay.
Yeah, at the Sandbar. So all
she's
that.
So sweet. She's so pretty.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Justin Arthur says Phil Ensemble. I never say his name right. I think he's the singer for Pantera. Is barefoot these days, and it seems weird as hell. Yeah, I'd agree. But Pantera has a whole culture to its existence as well, where I don't want to say they get a free pass, but that's just been the culture of the band the whole time.
What about the Grateful Dead?
Well, again, that's like a stylistic thing. It's a cultural movement.
It is, but
deal.
So I have to tell you that I won't say your name, but you know who you are, and she's probably not listening to this podcast. But she was doing a show at the Sapphire Room, and it's a brunch, so there's food, but there's health code violations involved there, and OSHA violations there, right? So you gotta have shoes on.
Yeah,
and she's not getting it. And she's, I think, still mad at me till this day that I made her put her shoes back on.
Yeah,
and you just, I mean, you can feel more comfortable. I saw one of the best shows ever back in the day with Sade.
Oh
Jones
my gosh.
Beach. She came. I mean, it was perfect. You couldn't have directed a scene, as perfect as this. Flowing white gown, Jones Beach. There's nothing but water and sky behind her, and it's threatening. It's threatening a rain, just lightning bolts, thunder all over. Never a drop of rain.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, warm breeze, and she comes out barefoot. Oh my God! best show ever.
Yeah,
best show.
Yeah.
So she can get away with no shoes. Yeah. And at a restaurant too, or a place where there's food served.
Huh.
Well, she has a way of carrying herself and presenting herself that made that work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So
you gotta be. I think you just gotta be spectacular.
You do.
And if you're spectacular,
exactly.
Then you maybe you can not wear shoes.
Exactly.
So James Harrison was saying, these days iPads and phones are used for personal mixers and click tracks, etc. Yeah, that's 100% true. Because I use my phone as my own mixer for my in-ear. So I have my in-ear monitor, but this is off to the side.
Exactly.
And once sound check is done, I almost never touch it again.
Right.
Unless something really screwy happens, because I've dialed in my own monitor. So if something else affects that outside of that, then it's pretty rare that I would have to make some adjustment.
I'm going to use Jukebox as an example too. They do the same thing, but it's off to the side. You'll never, you won't see it,
right?
And they use click tracks, right? So you'll never see the phones or the iPads.
Yeah, yeah. And John's done a lot of work to ensure that that's
absolutely
what they do, and he developed the culture of the band to be this is how we're doing this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now think about Jukebox doing what they do, and I mean, if you follow them on social media at all, you see how they are on stage and how they interact with their audience. You can't interact with your audience like that when you're staring at an iPad looking at the words.
Yeah, there's a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a wall. So
it's totally, and my advice to anybody who's still using an iPad or a phone for words, like when it's a song that you should know, not like you've just learned it and you're just not feeling confident with the song and you're just using it for the one song or whatever, or you're filling in for somebody. I understand those situations, but like there's something freeing about just being able to interact with the audience and not have to worry about this thing in your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is a hindrance. And there's been like 1 or 2 times where we had a new song. I think it was like a Christmas song or something. And I wasn't feeling confident with the lyrics. I'd been working on it for months, but it kept screwing it up for whatever reason. I thought, I'm just going to have my phone here real quick. And I screwed up even worse because then I'm trying to follow the words on the thing. And I'm like, this was awful. Like if I had just forgotten the words in that one spot, I could have kept moving on and it would have been fine. Instead, I'm like trying to figure out where I'm at. And it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it's like being at karaoke, like live karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just,
it's not for me.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
It's not for me. But I guess what I'm curious, like you as a talent buyer and a promoter, and I would assume you'd be looking at those kind of things like, hey, Rick, we'd like to work with you. Here's what we do. And you look at it and you go, cool. Or you like, if I want to put my name behind this, I want to see these things from you.
Exactly.
And sometimes those bands will accept that information and go, hey, if we want to go to the next level, we got to do these things.
Yeah. Or sometimes they'll just go, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And don't act on it, and which is fine. And I'm not this big deal or anything like that, but I have standards.
Sure.
Everyone's got standards. And, if you want to, if you want to work with me, if you want me to book you, and, I might not be for everyone,
Sure.
but I know what those standards are.
Yeah.
So, and it's, you got to put in the work.
Yeah.
You have to, so.
Well, the proof is evident in like how Jukebox operates and to see how successful their band and their business is.
Right.
And me knowing John, I get a little peek behind the curtain with that. Right.
Yeah.
And then I have a front row seat to what Casio Dreams does.
Right. Exactly.
And to see how that band has just exploded and continues to
they're doing it. They're killing
it. They have these things going for them.
Yeah. There's like 2-day rental.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Problematic. I don't recall seeing iPads with them either.
So I heard about John before he actually moved here from San Diego.
Okay. So
we have a mutual friend, Ramsey, and she's telling me about her best friend and her husband's got this band, and and they're their own production, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? I hear this all the time.
Yeah.
And they're really good and this and that. This was about 5 years ago. And I'm going, yeah, whatever, whatever. So I get a call, a few days later. He goes, hey, are you Rick Oliver? I go, yeah, man. Because I'm supposed to call you because Ramsey keeps bugging me about this. You want to have lunch? So I go, yeah, man, let's go have lunch.
Yeah.
So we have lunch and we're talking and we click. Like the energy's there. He's like my brother. Like, sure. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like everything's there. And I had to do something up in Sun Valley. And I was telling him about it. He goes, man, what time do we leave? I was like, oh, all right, let's go. We got fogged out, so we didn't wind up going, but we clicked. He goes, hey, man, I'm putting this band together and, I'm looking for some musicians and singers. I need a female lead, a male lead. So I go, I know a few people,
Yeah.
So they do the audition. He's like, Rick, man, they're freaking amazing. I go, duh. Like, what do you think when they send you somebody bad? You know?
Yeah.
And that helped him, tremendously. And then one gal, Athena, she just keeps getting better and better. Mm-hmm. Well, she was with a group. I'm not even gonna say his name, but you know who you are too. And I was like, man, and she's up front and she's doing this and she, playing the conga. And I was like, you need a bigger band. Like you need to, she's young. I go, you need to spread your wings, you know?
Yeah.
I go, and I got you covered. So when she auditioned for John, it was perfect. And if you look at her now, she's just blossomed. She's an incredible singer.
Yeah.
Diego was another guy, but he wanted to move into California, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah. But I mean, the band is tight, man.
It is. It
tight.
is.
So, and he doesn't do a lot of, for lack of a better phrase, public events because he's in the private, and that's his thing. He's a wedding, and he's probably one of the best wedding/events band in the Northwest. But he's also very loyal. You know what I mean? So when we do these public bands, he's like, let's do it, Rick. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I do have some other musicians I work with. I won't say any names or anything like that, but
come on, you got more space on your jacket.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, no, because so I'll do, I'll work with a venue, and sometimes I do this intentionally to see who's gonna do what or how they're gonna react.
Sure.
So I book a band in a spot, and then I turn around. They completely cut me out of the deal, and they're doing this show on their own.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha,
So, and even the venues have done that, and I was like, you know what? That's okay. That's okay because now I know where the loyalty lies.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm all about that. And some people do it accidentally. Some people know exactly what they're doing, and I just don't call. I just don't call. Or this is a small town, man. Like everybody knows everybody. You know what I mean? And you do something, cross somebody here, you do the wrong thing, chances are, people are gonna know about it.
Yeah. So I know just my experience dealing with managers and booking agents and venues and all of that stuff for so long, for decades now, which is weird to think about. But I was having this moment years ago where I was really frustrated with the situation. Felt like I was being taken advantage of in kind of some way.
You probably were.
And how dare they take advantage of Fred Fisher? But so my buddy sent me this quote by Hunter S. Thompson, and I'm curious if you've heard this quote before. It says, or he said, "The music business is a cruel and shallow money trench, a long plastic hallway where thieves and pimps can run free and good men die like dogs. There's also a negative side."
That's great. He's not too far from the truth there.
Right?
It can be a tough business,
Yeah.
I mean, I have a friend, he's out in Austin, Texas, Big Gun Promotions. And he just did a hip hop show. He did Boozy Badass, right? And everything that could go wrong is going wrong.
Sure.
And we're talking with, kind of helping him out, emotionally, that kind of thing, like for support. And so I was like, man, look, let's just get through this. And he shows me a video and the place is packed. I mean, like packed. He goes, Rick, I still took an L. I go, how can you take an L with this place like this? And he goes, 200 of those people didn't pay to get in. Like, and I don't know how that happened, right? Yeah. So, you have to keep your team tight,
Yeah.
So it's a tough business. Yeah, pimps and what else was in that quote?
It's
all that's true.
Thieves and pimps.
Yeah, there you go.
Good men die like dogs.
There you go.
And there's a negative side.
There you go. So that's perfect. And that's exactly what was happening. But it's a tough business. So I try and work with people I know, and trust. That's very important. Same thing with musicians. So a few years back, I think about 4 years ago, I was working with this company as artist relations and sponsor manager, and we had it was a summer concert series, all country artists. Now I never was a big country fan, and I was like, oh geez, okay, but I'll do it. It's my job.
Sure.
Well, I get a Laney Wilson's contract comes over my desk, and no one knew who Laney Wilson was back then. So her rider's asking for all of this, that, and the other, and I'm like, I'm redlining it. No, you're not the headliner, right?
Yeah.
So I think Nashville, like a lot of these companies and agencies, they have a plan. They know what they're doing. Like, so I'm thinking they knew what they were doing when she had her here. And so, when she pulls up, she's she's got an SUV with a little trailer behind her, nothing, and she's talking real sweet and real nice, like Dolly Parton kind of, right? And I'm thinking, this guy, is she like trying to work us or what? Like nobody could be that nice. So after a minute or so, I felt like her energy. It was infectious. Like she was, I could see that she was genuine.
Yeah.
And she was like, I said, hey, I'm Rick Oliver, artist relations, I'm your guy. If I can't get it done, it can't get done. She goes, well, did you get everything on my rider? And I go, someone dropped the ball on that, but we'll have everything for you. I'll have it for you in a half hour. Sure enough, I did. And, so the more I'm talking to her, the more it's like, she's so genuine. She's like the nicest person I've ever met, and she said, hey, could you get me on stage, because the green room was about, I don't know, 100 yards from the stage or 50 yards from the stage. And I said, yeah, I'll have security. She goes, no, I want you to pick me up and get me on stage. And I did. And it was like, but she was like, and now she's grown so much. Like, dude, she's a $1 million act. She's huge.
Yeah.
And this is just in 4 years.
Right.
So, I learned a lesson there, like, be careful. Like, good thing I got her everything she needed. And, she's beautiful too, right?
Right.
That didn't hurt much at all. It's like, sure, anything you want.
Right.
Here's my wallet.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Here's my wallet.
But so we did 2 shows. We did one here in Boise and the next one in Pocatello at the Portneuf Amphitheater.
Oh yeah, that's a nice place.
Yeah, it's nicer than the one place we had at Boise. It was like, what is going on with Boise? But that by the end of that series, and who else did we work with? Clint Black, Tracy Lawrence, who's another really nice guy. Mitch Tenpenny.
The one in Pocatello. Did Cliff open that show? Was that Lainey Wilson? You had us on a show there.
Yeah,
what artist was that? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Maybe
man.
It was another female singer.
Was it Lainey Wilson? No, I'd have to check my notes.
I would have to go back through them. Like,
I remember you opening for a Lainey or like a Lainey something in Indian Creek, but it wasn't Lainey.
Oh, Indian Creek. No, I don't think I've worked with those guys.
We did a show there with a different.
But no, you did a show with Cliff Miller.
Yeah.
Was it a taco fest I had?
Oh.
I did a taco fest. I did a number of taco fests.
I think we did is it Portneuf or whatever in Pocatello.
Yeah.
We opened for somebody there that you put together.
Yeah. I can't remember.
Female country artist, I think.
Cliff
would know like that.
Oh, of course he would.
Of course.
Of course he would. But yeah, so, and it was great, man. And I got to meet all these country artists and work with them. And, I'm listening to this guy. His name is, they call him M10. It's Mitch Tenpenny, though, Mitchell Tenpenny. And I'm listening, and he's got Michael Jackson playing. I'm thinking, like, this dude got, Michael Jackson playing like he's country.
Mm-hmm.
And when he takes his break, we wind up hanging out and going downtown. And I go, man, you listen to Michael Jackson? He goes, Rick, I love Michael Jackson. And then as he starts to perform, I could hear the soulness and I could hear it in his music,
Yeah.
And by the end of that tour, I bought a country hat. So, cowboy hat. A cowboy hat, yeah. Cowboy Rick.
Now,
Cowboy Rick.
So when I first started playing with Cliff, I was like really struggling to find my identity because I'm a hard rock metal drummer guy.
Mm-hmm.
So Mary and I went to a couple different places, me trying on cowboy hats. Dude, it was the most awkward,
it was pretty
uncomfortable,
funny.
This is not me thing ever.
Well, Cliff even wears a baseball hat.
Cliff, I think part of Cliff wants to wear like some kind of cowboy hat-ish thing, but he's always got a ball cap on. And so that's sort of his identity, right? But I think if we were in a market that nobody knew who he was and he wore the hat, that would be normal, right?
Right.
But for us being around him all the time, it's like that doesn't seem like it works.
You guys had a show at the Sapphire Room. Maybe it was last year.
Yeah.
And I walked in the green room and
he was trying on the hat.
He was trying on the hat and he goes, which hat, Rick? And I go, definitely not that one. But I can't remember what it was, but I know it wasn't him at all.
Right.
It didn't fit him.
Yeah. So I don't know where he is with that exactly, but it comes around every once in a while. And
Matt can get away with the
Matt Hartz can get away with wearing a hat because when Matt puts a hat on like that, you go, oh, that's Matt, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not Cliff.
Yeah, right.
I've known
Exactly.
Cliff for so long and never really saw him wear a hat like that. So to me, my perspective
Yeah,
of him
that-
wearing that, it's like that doesn't work.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
if you didn't know him like at all, and he walked on stage and had that hat on, you'd just be like, "Oh, that's Cliff Miller, probably."
Yeah, or like,
Maybe it's like
maybe he should lose the hat.
I'm missing James's comment. Rock in the '80s when I. This is where I have trouble reading because my
boy.
glass. I need to get my glasses.
Back in the 80s.
Okay, Mary
not
can read it.
rock. Back in the 80s, when I moved to Boise, if an agent booked you on a venue, you had contracts that the agent got paid for X amount every time you played that venue for a certain number of dates.
Yeah.
In Nashville, the cap is the new cowboy hat.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because I have someone helping me with a new business model now. So I like that idea. Definitely. But, I'm a handshake kind of guy too, which isn't always good in the business world.
Right.
But, this is a small place. There's some people I absolutely do contracts with, and then some, it's like, hey, all right, let's do it. But noted. Thank you.
Yeah. I think if I understand James's comment correctly, like my experience with Midline is if we had, because we had a couple different people book us when we were busy doing stuff, especially if we went down to LA, there was this gal that got us a lot of places. So she did all the work to get us in those places. Right.
Yeah.
And so then she takes 20% or whatever her cut was.
Mhm.
And that was all contracted.
Right.
But then there was something in that contract, like if we played those venues again, regardless if she was involved or not, she would still get a percentage of that because she got us there to begin with.
Right.
Like she
Yeah.
made the relationship happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it was a thing that was already worked out. Like if we continue playing that room
Right.
with or without her involved, she would still get paid. But that time frame would have an expiration date.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
100%.
Yeah. So
I'm a nice guy though. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah. Not very business savvy, but that's about to change.
Well, you got to take care of yourself.
I have to.
Yeah.
I have to.
Maybe you got to go to the school
of
of Fred.
Maybe I should go to the school of Fred.
Oh my gosh.
What happened to Rick? He's such a dick now. He was such a nice guy before. Well, he went to the school of Fred.
That's right.
Yeah, so
F you.
there you go.
We
Fisher University.
Yeah, we called it FFU for Fred Fisher University.
Of course. What, would it be anything else?
Yeah.
Like,
No, not at all.
Fred Fisher University.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not freaking
So-
FU.
Right. So, Rick, you sent me your bio last week sometime.
Yeah.
So you are born and raised New York?
Well, so I was born in Danville, Virginia, if you can believe that. My mother moved to New York when I was about a year old.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I grew up in the hood. I grew up in Harlem, New York. I was a shy kid, wore glasses every day. And, kids can be mean.
Sure.
Kids can be horrible.
Yeah.
So, of course, I got made fun of. And, until I.
Because of
So
the
I-
glasses?
Yeah, because of glasses, I'm short. Like, they'd be like, hey, those glasses are so. Not just any glasses, like the Coke bottle glasses.
Sure, yeah. I had the
So,
same.
Yeah, so people be like, kids would be like, hey, who's coming around the corner? That's Greg. He can see through walls with those things on, right? So that gets old after a while, right?
Sure,
So,
yeah.
then it's time to knuckle up. So, you
Time
do
to
that a
pull
couple
up.
of times and people stop picking on you.
Yeah.
So got over that. And yeah, man, but growing up in home, there was a great music scene, no matter where you went. I
Oh,
lived
I
a few
bet.
blocks from the Apollo Theater. So as a kid, I would sneak in there and watch,
Oh, wow.
acts. Yeah, it was great. And then, we didn't live too far from Spanish Harlem. You go through Spanish Harlem in the spring, summer, and musicians are outside on the congos and the different smells and making Cuban sandwiches and the Latino vibe. As it got older, we go down to Little Italy. Piece of San Gennaro. They'd have like different foods out, and everybody's listening to Frank Sinatra and Tony Bennett. So you develop this taste for all types of music,
Yeah,
an
yeah.
eclectic taste of music. And it kind of stuck with me. I took piano lessons as a kid, and I remember waiting, being in a waiting room, and my teacher, Miss White, I can't remember her first name, but she'd have Bach and Beethoven playing, man.
Whoa.
And I got into that too, you know. It's like, and I realized I just love music.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, fast forward, you know, here I am. And my mother was a gospel singer. So I remember Sunday mornings in New York listening to WBLS. They had a gospel show in the mornings, and she'd be cooking and singing. And, you know, I just kind of fell in love with it.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you still play keys?
No.
No.
And I used to sing too. I don't do that. I'm behind the scenes.
Is it because you got rid of the glasses? You got rid of the glasses, the piano, and the singing.
Whoa.
I still sing a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Are
Yeah,
you a shower singer?
No.
Car singer?
You know, I'll break out into a song if I'm in my car, if
Yeah.
I'm with someone I'm comfortable with, I'll start singing. And like,
Yeah.
Rick, you should sing. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it.
When I start singing, Mary says you shouldn't. How can I compete with that?
Yeah.
Stick to the drums, man.
Well, last week on my show, towards the end, I sang happy birthday to somebody and drummed along on my pad. And it was just a total goofball moment. And when it was all over, Mary goes, that wasn't too bad.
Wow.
I was like, what?
You
What?
stayed in the same key, I think.
I don't like being out front, man. I don't want to be on stage. I don't,
Yeah.
I just don't, but I have to start now. I'm starting to come to grips with it. I have to. I was talking with to Elliot Presswich. He runs the Egyptian Theater, and we've done quite a bit of shows together. And I have Jingle Jam coming up with him, and that's to benefit the Boise Rescue Mission.
Okay.
So we're bumping up the talent level every year. So we've been doing it now for about 3 years. And he goes, "Hey man, I think let's get you on stage, And I was like, dude, he's like, Rick, people know who you are, but they don't know who you are. You do a lot of stuff around town. And I go, you know what? It's funny. And it was interesting that he said that, because I was in the shower that morning. I was thinking about, Rick, you need to get out there more,
Mm-hmm.
So so when he said that, it didn't come as quite the surprise. But he says, and also I'm going to put you on the poster. You'll be Santa Claus this year on the Jingle Jam poster.
Wow.
So I go, I got to proof it before you put it out there. So, I'm going to co-host the Jingle Jam this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So and that's
Jingle Jam.
It's Friday, December 5th, 2025. The Egyptian Theater doors are at 5:30, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
There you go. There's
Another
a lot of
plug.
shows coming up.
Yeah, we got some stuff coming up. Yeah.
So you grew up in New York, in Harlem, mom singing,
Right.
so that was a big influence in your musical interests.
It was
sneaking into the Apollo and
and I was in a boy band,
Okay.
at an
A
early
boy
age.
band?
Yeah,
You were?
yeah, very early. We only did a few shows.
Okay.
So
What
we actually won an award.
you did?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
What was the award?
and we came in third place.
Okay.
It was called a Grammy.
Yeah, no, not a Grammy. No, not that big. No.
There's a
Let him finish.
Did I interrupt?
Yeah, you sure did.
Oh, I did not mean to.
He's talking about his award.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, that was it. That was
Oh.
it. Yeah, no, that was.
That was weird because I felt like it was time for me to say something, and then the
No,
producer's
Fred,
like,
you shouldn't be talking.
we could get this little red light that's on the wall, and then when I'm supposed to zip it, you just press the,
Yeah, there you
or
go.
maybe it
Hey,
mutes my mic. I don't
Yeah.
know.
either or.
Fred's mouth is moving, but I can't hear him. Yeah, he shouldn't be talking right now.
So yeah, that was a while ago, but I've always had this love for music, and I'll be honest, I can remember like going to a show. I'd be out, they had this club, One Times Square Plaza, where they dropped back then it was an Apple on New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is now, if they even still do it down there. But I can remember I was in a show there once and attending a show, and the band got off stage and they came over and it was like, we're talking. He goes, "Hey man, we're looking for a manager. Would you be interested?" And I go, "Dude, I manage, but I don't know nothing about managing acts, And I'm thinking, like, why did he say that?
Yeah.
So throughout my life, that's happened about 4 or 5 times. Like go at a show and someone just coming over to me.
Wow.
So
So random.
Planted a seed.
yeah. So I think it was 2000 or 2001. I get a call from my buddy, he owned a local bar, and he was like, "Hey man, you got to come down here. It's, I got these boys in the house, and they sound like Boys to Men and whatever." And I was like, "Dude, it's 4 a.m. Why are you even open?" He goes, "I'm not serving booze." I go, "Yeah, but you're open." And I hung up. So fast forward 3 weeks later, I'm at the bar, and these guys are performing, and they get off stage, and I go, "Hey man, let me buy you guys a drink," And like I said, this was, I think, back in 2021. And I said, "Hey man, what record label you guys with?" He goes, "We're not with a record label, and we want to, we're looking for a manager." And my buddy pops his head from behind the bar. He goes, "Rick, these are the guys I was telling you about." Long story short, the band was Broken Silence. That next week, we're out for Making It a Bands in New York. And, after everything that's gone on, and it was a P. Diddy type thing, production, I'm glad we didn't really make it. But Sean got a call back. So, but anyway, so it started from there. So then I just started, booking shows and working with them. I had to do everything, I had to go through negotiate contracts, find venues. It was just the whole gamut.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of settled in, and 20 years later, 25 years later.
So was Broken Silence from New York?
No, they're from here. They were from Mountain Home.
Well, how did you get from New York to Idaho?
Oh, so
fill in that gap for me.
Okay. So I worked for Ralph Lauren, the designer, back in the day, right?
Wow.
So, and I was in corporate. I was head of his corporate security division. Prior to that, I was a store detective for him at his Madison Avenue flagship store, 72nd Street, Madison Avenue, Polo Ralph Lauren, another plug.
Wow.
Right. So, and I worked with a guy, Kenny Thomas. He was a salesman. So we worked together. So we kind of moved up the ladder together. And we both were at corporate at the same time. We're like, wow, we're not retail. We're not on the floor anymore. Blah, 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 blah. So he comes into my office one day, and he's like, he just started this new line of clothing for Ralph called Double RL, Ralph and Ricky Lauren. It was a Western line.
Oh.
So he goes, "Man, I got to get these clothes on a celebrity, right?" And my buddy, he went to school with Bruce Willis.
Okay.
All right. So I hit my buddy up. I was like, "Hey man, my buddy needs to get these clothes on a celebrity. You think Bruce would, wear it?" He goes, "Is it free?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, shit, yeah, he's gonna wear it." So I started sending him, these clothes, and finally, he wanted to meet me, so we met. And this was like back in the mid '90s. Long story short, I visited, and my buddy moved out to from New Jersey to Haley, and he was head of Valley Entertainment.
Okay.
And they had me come out to visit a few times. Then when I was leaving Polo, I left Ralph, came out, and I helped him with some entertainment type stuff. So yeah, and then here I am.
That's how you got out here.
That's how I got out here.
Wow. Well, there's a lot of celebrities in Sun Valley area.
There is
that live there, and then
there's
sometimes you guys get concerts up there that you hear about later. Right?
Yeah, we do. Fred, remember we talked about earlier, and you said that you didn't think I would have to go.
You don't have to go.
I do. Oh yeah, I do. I hate to pause this, but
well, we could pause.
Okay.
You want to?
I have to.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna go see a man about a horse real fast.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Producer will take him. There you go. Well, we'll get back to Rick here in a moment, and let's see if we're missing some comments. Brandon says, "I like your style, Rick. Great job, great guess, guys. Thanks, Brandon. Brandon, how was your Halloween event that you had?" Oh, now Jamie's laughing. I think this is really cool, getting somebody on the show that's involved with concert promoting and artist management, and kind of getting an inside look at that, because some people don't understand what goes on behind the scenes, and sometimes bands themselves don't even understand what's happening behind the scenes when they're back there themselves. Brandon, your show was hectic. How many bands did you have play at your event? I know I saw maybe 3. Is that correct? Jamie Vink says Rick is the real deal. Yeah. Everything that I've been involved with Rick has been fantastic. It's always gone very smoothly. Very smoothly. So we'll wait for Brandon's response here on how many bands he had. Fun though. Brandon, I didn't realize you had is that your skate park? I got stuck running sound for 3 bands, including us. Brandon, I thought your wife was your sound engineer now. At least she was when we saw you at McCleary's, I think. Well, that's what you get when you're the host. You gotta run everything around. So a couple of weird holidays that I didn't get to was today is I Love You Day. So put that in your pocket and carry around and tell somebody you love them because today is I Love You Day. I know I need glasses, James. I think I'm gonna start having to wear them so I can see instead of leaning in like this. Or somehow figure out how to make the text bigger on my computer here. That would be good too. Well, this is a little awkward pause, isn't it? I think if I'm just by myself, I know what's going to happen, and I can carry on and keep going. Oh, thank you, Jamie. I love you too. I love you too, man. Hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a long, long time. Long time. Brandon says, yes, it was at my skate park, the skate place in Nampa. I want Midline to come out sometime. Dude, I want to just come out and see it, but that would be cool. Miguel's here. I thought my dyslexia took over strong for a second. Jamie, my leg. Jamie is asking how my leg is doing. My leg is doing really, really well, man. I'm noticing it getting stronger. I actually got on the roof of Mary's parents' house a week ago. Excuse me, and had to do some roof inspection for them. They don't have a very steep roof, but it was a little touch and go, and I could tell you why. Is that I still occasionally have like a balance issue, and it's not because like an equilibrium thing. It's my leg gets weak, and then it feels like it's going to kick out from underneath me. So that's I am dealing with that a little bit, but it's getting better. My range of motion is good. Strength slowly coming back. Everything's good. Thanks for asking, man. I appreciate it. And Mr. Rick Oliver has returned.
Well, I bet that's never happened before.
It hasn't.
Leave it to me, right? The show must go on.
The show's got to go on. Yes. Speaking of the show has to go on, and I've played some shows where I just felt like death. And
I've had a couple.
I think sometimes if you're the drummer, that's a little easier to get away with. I'm not saying it's easy being sick and playing drums, but it's way worse for the singer.
Oh, way worse. Way worse because you're
anybody in the band who might have to suffer through a show because they're ill.
How did that come up?
Well, I just went to the bathroom.
He said the show must go on.
The show must go on. Yeah. I was like,
that's how we got on that path there, producer.
Okay. Hey, so I found that the Pocatello gal, her name is Lauren Elena.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the L, Lauren Elena.
Okay. But that was a show you put together, Rick, that we played.
Yeah.
At Portneuf.
Oh.
Yeah,
it was.
The Portneuf Health First.
Portneuf Health, yeah. Portneuf Health.
That is a really great venue.
It is. It was kind of new back then too.
Yeah.
It was a nice venue. You know what? I just thought of something, Fred.
What's that?
If this show wasn't 2 hours long, maybe I would have made it.
It's true.
I'm
That's true.
teasing.
I got to get my YouTube watch hours up.
I'm gonna give you shit about that.
Oh my God.
Normally, when I do interviews, they're usually about 15 to 30 minutes. Maybe an hour.
Hey man, we want to know.
You want to know everything.
Rick.
Yeah,
wanna
no,
know it.
I'm teasing, of course.
So I think I started telling you this before we went live, is that I used to do this all by myself.
Yeah.
Until episode 100 was the first guest I had, which was Mary.
Okay.
But up until then, it was called Coffee with Fred, and Mary came up with the whole Drummergy thing.
Yeah, I like the Drummergy, and
yeah.
Did you do that yourself? That's pretty cool.
So I've got I have an endorsement with Aquarian Drumhead, so they got me the drum head.
And
then Mary put the logo together, and then we had a
Beautiful.
friend print that for us, and I stuck it on there.
Looks good.
Yeah,
Thanks.
All right. Yeah.
it
Nice
had to be
work,
on a
Mary.
drum.
Thank you.
Had to be on a drum.
Well, yeah.
So-
Drummergy. Hello.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. This is a drum by Pearl, and it's only 5 inches deep.
Mhm.
But I was its main purpose was to display drum heads.
Okay.
And so I was like looking on Facebook Marketplace for a bass drum that I could just like cut down,
Right.
like some crummy little thing.
Right.
And I was like, well, if I got the cost of whatever that might be plus my time, this was only $100 off of Amazon.
Wow.
So I'm
You've
like,
done
oh,
good.
that just made sense.
Yeah,
right?
you've done good. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's all, but the design stuff, that's all Mary. That's all Mary. The
wow.
name is Mary's. She came up with that. Like just the Drummergy being like a way of life, a way of thinking, an attitude, that vibe,
Yeah.
that energy.
Yeah, I can dig it,
The
man.
Drummergy.
I can get Drummergy.
So I mean, going forward with Rick's entertainment group,
Yeah,
you could think like, does this create Drummergy?
it does. I tell you, I get along with drummers, right? For some reason, it's a drum thing. I don't know. I get the Drummergy, you know?
right.
So that's what got me here, the Drummergy.
That's
It
right.
wasn't the energy, it was the
Rhythm.
drum.
I put it out there.
You put it out there and it was, ooh.
Drummergy.
Yeah.
There was Mary's band played this is it Weezer Music?
The Weezer River Music Festival.
I don't think you're involved with that I'm aware of.
No.
but
no.
they were playing that a few years ago. Was
It was in 2020.
that
Like
when
things had just opened back up. It was like in June.
okay
Things had just opened up.
in 21 maybe then
No, it was in 2020.
it was
Yeah.
okay
Because
well,
we took a picture behind the stage, all of us together, and people were like, "Why aren't you wearing masks?" And we're like,
oh yeah, the
Mm.
masked Nazis
because
were
we're outside and we just performed
Yeah.
were
together. I
out
don't know.
there. But so I'm shining light on myself a little
Oh,
bit.
sure. Why not? Toot your own horn. Why don't you?
Well,
I know I will.
they wanted the concert shirt that said the festival
Oh.
name on it, and all the back
Yeah.
on the back had all the
It had our
bands
name on the
listed.
back.
That's pretty
Right.
cool.
Well, they shut down the merch table early, and so I'm a band wife in that because she's the only. So it's me and all the other band spouses, which are all girls, right?
Band wives.
So I'm in the band wife club, but they were disappointed because the merch booth was shut down. Now, why they shut it down early, I have no idea. But you
they
could
probably
just
want to go
see-
home.
You could
merch
just see it
girl.
in the box. There's the shirts, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, we can't buy a shirt. And I said, you're going home with shirts. But they're like, but everything's closed down. I'm like, you're with Fred Fisher. We're gonna
my
find the person who has the answer to make this happen.
Right.
Oh boy.
And you're going home with shirts. And so I went and talked to somebody at the gate, and they directed me to somebody else, and they directed me to somebody else. And finally enough word got around that, hey, people want to buy shirts.
Yeah, man.
And finally I came across, I said, we have money. We want to give it to you, and we want to receive
In exchange
the
for
concert shirt.
a shirt.
And they're like, oh. So they got on the phone with whoever and said, meet them back over there at the merch table. And so everybody got their shirts.
Oh, good.
Yay.
You worked
But-
it. Yeah.
But there was no, wasn't part of it. I'm a yes man.
Right.
Oh.
Will not take no for an answer.
We're going to make this happen. We're going to get in there and make this happen. So
Oh.
all the band wives and myself got a shirt.
Well, good.
You got a shirt
That's
too?
good.
Well, you wear
Or
it.
you got it for me? Okay. That's my band name on it.
Well, you
Right
wear
on.
it.
Yeah.
You wear it.
I wear it a lot, actually.
Yeah. I was filling people in as you left for a moment. Is this is my squirrel moment.
Okay.
I was coming back to the show must go on.
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
being sick and all that.
Yeah.
There was a band I was traveling with playing, and somebody was introducing the band, and they go all the way from Tampa Bay, Florida, and right then our singer goes,
Whoa.
and he's
no.
just letting it all go in the trash can right there, right? And so we all go running out there, and we just keep
Jamie's not
vamping
there.
the intro.
Yeah, exactly.
The guy's not coming. So then the bass player starts singing the tune,
Yeah.
and we did that show as a 3-piece with the bass player and singer trading off, trying to
Oh, you
Trying
did the whole
to-
show without him?
sing.
I thought
Yeah.
he just did that and then came out.
No.
You know,
But we had to do, and
you have to do it. That's what the people pay money for,
Right.
you know?
and like 3 songs in, the bass player's like, I'm really sorry, but we were just getting ready to come out, and Jamie just got sick suddenly, and we didn't do the whole show. We did most of the show without him, and then he got himself together for the
Mhm.
last handful of songs, and when he came out, everybody was like, yeah.
Right.
But
so
it
it
was
kind
like
of
so
build
th-
anticipation too.
There was all this, like, nobody was mad. They didn't feel like, oh, we got ripped, I want my money back, or anything like
right,
that. It was
right.
like,
Because they got a show.
so as bad as it was for him, those people's memory of that is, we went to see this band, and this singer was sick suddenly, but the band held it together, and then he
Yeah.
played, so they have that memory
Great.
of that,
That's
right?
a great memory to have too, right?
So you just, it wasn't planned. It was but it was like, the show has to go
The
on.
show
That
has to go
we
on.
got to make this happen.
We
There's-
had so right at the beginning of 2020, that year, the winter of 1920 was a horrible flu year. And then COVID was starting up, like, in the other countries, right? It hadn't really hit here yet. And so we were supposed to play the Governor's Ball the first weekend in January at the Knitting Factory. And so that Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, Brandon and I are now sick. We had just played New Year's Eve at Ironwood, which is Heritage.
Right.
And we woke up, like, somehow there was a flu going around, and both of us woke up sick. I was a day ahead of him. And so Thursday, he's like, I can't do the gig. I've got 104 fever. I'm like, I can't do the gig. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? I'm like, I really want to do the gig. I need the money for my kid to do drum corps, but I don't want to do the gig either, because I'm so sick.
yeah.
Right.
And then Adam wasn't feeling good either. So Jeff tried to get a different band. He, like, contacted the Knitting Factory. He's like, we've got people down. Like, can we just get a different band in there? And they're like, nope, you have to do it. We're like, oh crap.
Yeah.
And so fortunately, Matt Puzon, do you know who Matt is? The
I
guitar
think so.
player?
Yeah.
Yeah, he always was gigging with Emily, always. And that one night he didn't have anything scheduled. And so 24 hours in advance, he gets this notebook of all the songs that we had to play for 3 hours.
Wow.
And he nailed it. He was like
Yeah.
such a pro. So he covered for Brandon. Adam and I still had to sing. And I was like coughing up a lung and like
geez.
and I just stood there holding my mic stand just like so I wouldn't fall over. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
so
Oh my goodness.
out of
yeah.
it.
Those are tough ones.
Yeah.
You know?
And then but that flu was so bad that, like, then the whole next week the coughing thing, like, just destroyed my voice. And we played up at Whiskey Jack's in Sun Valley,
Mhm.
and then the après ski thing the next afternoon. And at Whiskey Jack's they had the fireplace going, and it just, like, dries out the air, and my voice
yeah, it
just
get really hot
decided
in there.
it's done.
Wow.
And so that was like halfway through the second set of 3. And so then they started, like, they invited these girls. I think there was a bachelorette party going on too. And so they're like, we're going to have these 2 girls come up and sing on the stage. And they were singing Love Shack just to give my voice a rest.
Yeah.
And it was just
sure.
ended up being really funny. But yeah, the show had to go on.
Yeah, I mean,
They
that's,
made it through.
that saying been around forever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I remember, we, I think bodybuilding.com back in the day was one of our sponsors when I had
Oh.
Broken Silence. And Russ DeLuca, God rest his soul. He had something going on at Venice Beach, California, and it was a live music event. And I remember me and the boys from Broken Silence, we drove there. And so I didn't even think about it. I didn't think about the change in atmosphere, the change in weather. We're at the beach now. But anyway, the boys are on stage singing, and Sean, the lead vocalist, he's losing his voice, but I don't know it at the time. I think it's a sound guy. So I'm standing next to the sound guy going, dude, what are you doing? Like, you know, and he's like, it's not me. And then I realized that Sean was losing his voice, and it come from the change in altitude and temperature. But it was a good thing that Jay knew Sean's, knew his vocals. So he covered it, but we were lucky to get out of that. We're really lucky to get out of it.
Yeah.
The show must go on.
Right.
You know? So
what was going on in the chat? There was like all this chit chat. Come back.
They're laughing because Rick had to.
Who's laughing?
Oh, nobody.
No, really? No.
James said that he's played while throwing up with food poisoning, passing kidney stones.
Oh my goodness, jeez.
And the day of a shoulder surgery, played with one arm. The show goes
goodness.
on. Yeah.
Wow.
Drummers.
You had to drum a song.
So, but it looks like you're talking to Brandon about his skate
Yeah.
park
So
thing?
Brandon Tillman from Problematic has a
It's like a huge
Has a problem?
no.
and it's problematic.
yeah. The way that they spell it it's not spelled
Problem.
correctly. And I went and saw them, and he's like, hey, we're taking tips so we can get spelling lessons. But he has he
built this
has a skate park, like an indoor skate park at his place in Nampa, I believe.
Okay.
Brandon says his drummer, Troy Nickel.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who doesn't know Troy?
I know,
Exactly.
But Brandon's got a skate park there. I believe Brandon teaches skateboard lessons, I think.
So.
And then they just had like a Halloween
that's a Halloween
show at his place where they had a few bands play and people dressed up and stuff. Looked like a cool, fun time. And Brandon's a cool dude if you haven't met Brandon yet.
Yeah.
I think I've run across Brandon.
Brandon's like the most California guy I know. He like when you look at him, you're like, oh, he's from California.
Yeah.
He's just like, like when you envision, like, I'm going to go down to California and I'm going to be like rock stars. That's him.
Oh, right.
That's the guy.
Yeah. We love Brandon
Cool.
because today is I Love
he's
You
real
Day.
nice.
That's what
Today's I Love You Day too, and Dessert Day.
And
I Love You Dessert.
Yeah.
I think you're missing one really important one though.
The Be Bald and Be
Bald and Be Free Day.
Be bald and be free. Look at that.
A day for bald people to be proud of their baldness.
Yeah, it took some time, but I guess I'm kind of proud of it.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Now, did you lose your hair and that's why you're bald, or
Fred?
did you just?
Well, no, it started receding to a point where my forehead, I had a 5 head. So I was like, it's time to go. And people, and they're like, hey, just let it grow, Rick. And then I'll go, I'll have the freaking horseshoe thing going on. That's not happening.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
But you look good. You look good with
thank you. It takes work. If I don't shave for a day, like it's noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
So being bald is not as easy as having hair. Here you can just,
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So do you use like an electric shaver, or how do you?
No, I bick it.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a pain in the ass sometimes because the older I get, my head starts to take on different shapes, so it's not as smooth as where did that come from?
Aww.
That sounds like a delicate process.
Yeah, I know.
It kind of is, unless I'm in a hurry. Then it's like I put on a hat and I take it off and then all these blood stains. But for the most part, for the most part, it's all good. Man.
I have a feeling like me being bald is in my future.
Well, Fred, all I can tell you is just prepare for it and just deal with it, man.
Yeah,
adapt and overcome.
Okay.
Well,
he has got to go.
He has
show must go on.
Before. He did shit. You did shit.
Well, you get one of those hats with the hair attached to it.
Yeah. No.
You could get a wig like Pedro.
So what is I Love You Day like?
Yeah, what's I Love You?
I don't know.
Where did you get that? Where are you getting these? Where'd you get this?
Google.
You just Google that.
So if I Google I love you, it's going to come up. I love you.
If you Google national holidays for October 14th, that's what pops up.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't.
And I
see
do that
one,
every
but-
week
Okay.
to just to kick things off.
Okay.
Or to come back to them like we are today.
Now, how often do you do these shows?
Every
these
Tuesday
podcasts?
morning
Every Tuesday. So once a week.
for the past 148 weeks.
Wow. Way to go.
I missed 2 Tuesdays in all of that.
Okay.
My mom had passed away on
Oh,
February 6th.
sorry.
It'll be 2 years ago this February.
I remember bumping into you at the hospital.
That's right. So that was on New Year's.
Yeah. Wow.
So it was New Year's Eve
She was
when
diagnosed.
my sister had messaged me because my mom wasn't right.
Mhm.
We didn't know what was wrong with her.
Mhm.
And so my sister, I don't know if she called me or texted me, but she basically told me about this brain disease that my mom had that was totally just like out of the blue. But Casio Dreams was playing New Year's up at Whiskey's. And so then that's when I found out. And then when we came home the next day, we went right to the hospital. That's when I saw you as I was
Mhm.
walking through the door
Yeah.
for that. I think you had some tests done or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I was sick, man. Jeez. I had
Yeah.
COVID 3 times, COVID
Oh.
pneumonia once. It's just awful.
And I think you said something like I said, we just found out she's not going to
Yeah.
make it. So
Yeah.
that was
That's a tough one.
that was
man.
the 1st of January. And then she passed away on the 6th of February, which
Mm.
was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And so
Oh,
I
so
didn't
Tuesday.
I didn't do a show that day.
Right. Yeah.
And then I was in Indianapolis
Yeah.
and I broke my leg.
I remember that.
So
I
was-
remember you had pictures. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Geez.
He was a
So
little. He was
I
in
the
surgery that
hospital
day.
that Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I did not do my show that day. So that's the
Now,
2
did
Tuesdays that I
you
missed.
fully recover from that?
I am mostly recovered.
Okay.
Like the bone is healed. All the little stress fractures throughout are healed. But they cut me open on both sides of the leg to
I
put
saw
the
that.
hardware
Oh.
in there. And you get a little bit of nerve damage and they have to cut through muscle and all of this stuff to access
Yeah.
the bone.
Yeah.
And then that's trying to
Ooh.
heal. So I have weird sensations in my leg. Like if
Mhm.
I touch one side of my leg, it feels like not only am I touching there, but on the other side of the leg at the
Oh,
same
wow.
time. So it's like another person. It's
Yeah.
really bizarre.
Wow.
And then I guess it's probably going to be another year of swelling off and on because the tissue's in there rubbing over that metal and that
Mhm.
keeps it irritated.
Ugh.
Ooh.
Ugh.
So
there's a lot
it's,
going on
yeah,
there.
but I mean,
But
for the most part, I'm good.
But Fred, the show must go on.
The show goes on,
The show-
right?
the show must go
Yeah,
on. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you should have done your show while you were waiting for the surgery.
I don't know if I would have made it.
No,
I was
you
I
were
was
so
an
out of it.
emotional wreck. I was drugged out of my mind wreck.
I didn't.
Well,
even
Mary
know
got
it
to
was
witness
Tuesday.
it from a different angle.
Oh
So
yeah. Well. Yeah.
yeah, I stayed an extra week in the hospital there, but I did my show the next day or the next week. Sorry,
Okay.
from the couch in there, and
I don't even remember.
yeah,
I
I
probably.
barely remember. I know that I did it because there's proof, but
Mm, okay.
I'm not sure what. It was a weird time, Rick.
Sounds like it. I remember seeing
Yeah.
you posting. I was praying for you, man. I was like, get better, Fred.
Yeah.
Come on, you can do this.
Okay.
I think some people didn't realize how bad. They're like, "Oh, you broke your leg," like, "Oh, you broke." Your... They don't realize how severe it was.
I saw the pictures,
Yeah.
the photos, and I
Yeah.
read it, so I knew. Yeah.
Yeah, because some people are like, "Oh, I didn't realize." He'd be saying, "Oh yeah, I broke my leg," whatever. Like, "Oh, I didn't realize," and then they're like, "Oh no, I do remember you saying that," but then they didn't realize how bad it was, and
Yeah.
you just hear
Even
somebody
I
say,
didn't
"Broke-"
really realize until like
Yeah.
Like,
the
even
doctors
when I
are
was
like,
in-
"This is a severe fracture.
yeah.
This is like one of the worst things you could do to your leg."
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Yeah.
For real?
This past June, I was walking into the eye doctor because I go to my eye doctor once a year, and my doctor saw me limping through the front room, and so I got in there, and he's like, "So I saw you limping. Like, what's going on?" And I said, "Oh, I broke my leg." And he's like, "Oh, really? How did you do it?" And I told him. He kind of laughed, and he's like, "What kind of break was it?" And I said, "Tibia plateau." And he goes,
Oh,
That's one of the worst ways you can break your leg.
wow. Yeah.
He's
Wow.
like, when did that happen? He's like, oh, you're going to be limping another year.
Oh, jeez.
And that was the eye doctor was like,
Yeah, he knew.
he was
yeah.
like taken back, like, wait a second, you did what?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that was intense. Well, before we wrap it up, Rick, I have a couple more questions here for you.
Okay.
Oh, you're looking at your watch.
Well,
bro.
no, before we wrap up, I'm thinking, well, what else do I need to get in here? Who else do I need to plug? Like,
we got the Sapphire Room a few times because the jukebox is coming up. The Egyptian show.
The Egyptian show. I got another benefit, Toys for Tots.
Oh yeah.
That is December 10th. I hope I'm right with that. At the Sapphire Room. It's our friend Mike Wallace, rest in peace. He was lead man for Jerry and the Dream Benders, which was a band. He passed away a few months back, and we're gonna keep Toys for Tots alive, keep it going. So I'm working with Linda Johnson. She's one of the principal owners of Johnson Brothers Hospitality, who owns the Riverside Hotel. So yeah, we got that coming up, and if you're listening, come on out for that. Look it up on Eventbrite. Tickets are on sale now. But yeah, donate to the cause. It's a great cause. Toys for Tots 2025.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool that you're involved with these fundraisers and these things.
You got to do it. You got to get back, man.
Yeah.
You got to get back.
Yeah. It's really cool. The Egyptian for the what was it called again?
It's Jingle Jam.
Jingle Jam.
Right.
What? That's a great venue.
So it really is a great venue. And this year, I decided I'm gonna open with some kids. A kids choir.
Oh.
I have some kids doing some Christmas songs.
Yeah.
Ken Harris is going to back them up. Ken has been around for 312 years. So
Ken comes over here frequently,
uh-huh.
and Mary will do some video production stuff for him. He is such an animated character.
Oh, he is,
and he's just the coolest guy. And
he's got all these jokes.
Oh yeah.
I talked to him yesterday.
Well, when he talks to you, he doesn't look at you. He looks off.
Yeah.
Right. And then he'll come in and he'll get on the piano and he'll just improvise something. Yeah. And the last time he was here, he was like doing this kind of like heavy blues thing, and he was going, "Wake up, teenagers! Wake up!" Waking up the kids.
My kids come out of their rooms, are like, "What's going on?
Who is that?
What's going on?"
The time before that, he was waiting to use the bathroom, and Christian was in the bathroom getting ready for work, and he comes out, and Ken's, "It's my time now to use the bathroom."
Yeah. He is so awesome.
Yeah, like, what is happening?
I told him last time he was just here a couple weeks ago, and
was he on your show?
No, but I asked him.
He wants to be. Yeah.
He wants to be. Is that what you said?
Yep. Yeah.
Well, we asked him, and he was like, "Oh, well, he was in."
Yeah, he was all excited about it.
And then he called, and I don't know if he left a message or he said, "Mary, I got two things. I want you to do this, that, to this video. And the other is, I didn't realize that being on a podcast was on my bucket list, but I'm ready to go."
I had him on Soul Food too. I forgot how good him and Hoochie Coochie Man were.
Oh yeah.
They absolutely killed it, man. What a class act. Those guys are so professional and so tight, man. But I guess you better be after playing with each other for this
Ken's
long.
Ken's a staple in that.
He is. Oh yeah.
And he he used to be part owner of the Blues Bouquet.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And Ironwood.
Yeah.
Before it was I think before it was Shorty. Yeah, Ken's been around forever. Like I said, he's 312 years old. So he's, he knows his way around.
312 years old. Yes.
Just kidding, buddy.
Well, it's I Love You Day. So
we love you.
We love you, bro.
Yeah, we love you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Love is in the air.
He comes in and he's in shorts, and then he's got like wool socks on and hiking boots. Or look like or some kind of steel-toed construction boot.
We used to have a music therapy session, he and I, once a month.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and we would talk about, different music, different musicians, who's doing what, who's doing this, and who shouldn't be doing this, and blah, 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 And it was refreshing. It was very therapeutic, you know?
Yeah.
Speaking of therapeutic, did I plug my show already? I'm doing a radio show with, it's called Grown and Sexy. Grown and Sexy every other Thursday night on Tropico FM 103.1 KFFI. FM.
Okay.
So, I'm doing a little bit of that too. And
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, I'm keeping busy and,
Mary, will you put in the comments Rick's website?
What was it? RIX?
RIX
Entertainment.
.com.
Group.
Yeah. So people will see that here.
Yeah. We
That'd
bring
be
the
awesome.
party.
Yeah.
Well, or just look me up, Rick Oliver on Facebook or Ricky D3 at Instagram on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still kind of maneuvering that whole social media thing. I have a new intern that's working with me.
Are they helping with that?
She will be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been doing some making some connections through a BSU and working with some music professors over there and
cool.
director programs. Yeah. So
Yeah.
good resources.
Nice.
Yeah, and yeah, absolutely.
There's the website.
Yep.
There's the website. Thank you, producer, for putting that
You
in
betcha.
there. And as far as social media goes, there's some people are so resistant to it, but let's touch on this for just a minute before we have breakfast. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What's for breakfast, Mary?
What do you want?
I think are we doing bacon and eggs, sausage and eggs? But French toast has to be part of the equation.
Do you like French toast?
I do, but I like a little, savory and sweet kind of thing. So if we have French toast, like you got some kind of sausage or
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sausage.
okay, a French
I got
toast.
eggs and sausage.
Yeah.
and-
Oh yeah, there we go. You got
I
it.
The
grits.
French toast,
I
you
got
can
Grits.
put
Oh boy.
with the French
Yeah,
toast. We want a little powdered sugar on it though,
Ooh, the
because
powdered
today is
sugar.
dessert day, so it's kind of like having dessert.
Like a
Oh.
dessert. Oh
Yeah,
boy. Well,
yeah.
let's hurry up and wrap this up so we can
Okay,
get to eating.
my final question or thought for you.
No, we can take our time.
I know
Yeah.
you're with Fred Fisher.
Yeah, with Fred Fisher.
Sure.
And FFU.
And FFU, that's right. So you're going to work with an artist or a band, and you're putting a show together. What do you want to see that artist or band do as far as making the show successful?
I'm glad you brought that up because I almost forgot about a new artist I'm working with, Michael Britton.
Okay.
Oh,
He's looking for a band. He's got so much potential, stage presence, so much talent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I look for talent. I look for longevity. Stage presence is obvious, and talent.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I try and match them to the right venue to do the right shows and
Sure.
appropriate shows. And then I try and get them out in public as much as possible, and that includes, one of my things is I've learned a long time ago, like if I can get, and this is an easy way to do it, like singing the national anthem, like over at BSU or at the hockey game, right?
Mhm.
Because they're always looking for people.
Yeah.
But
that's a high pressure gig.
it's in one of the hardest songs to sing, the
Yeah.
national anthem, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So, when I start working with any artist, first thing I tell them is, hey, learn the national anthem. Because I'm going to have you, in front of a bunch of people singing that song.
Yeah.
You're going to be by yourself.
Right.
So nerves are going to come into play and all this stuff. All of a sudden, you're
It's a
there
good
and there's
test.
like 5,000 people in front of you. And you're
Right.
like, whoa, say,
Right.
can you see? Yeah. So,
Wait, how
as
was
I
that?
screw up.
no,
oh,
you're not going to give me you're not going to give me the same again. That happens all the time, Fred. But
try to trick him into singing.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So but he's a great talent. He just played the Olympic. They opened back up above Mulligan.
Yeah.
He just played the Olympic and phenomenal artist. So I'll be plugging him quite a bit.
But so that's what you're doing on your side. Like,
Right.
what do you want that artist to do?
Well,
What do you want them to do?
I want them to hone their craft, man. I want them to like.
Well,
hey,
their craft is honed.
not everybody's. Well,
Okay.
and I want them to help promote themselves.
Okay,
right? I
that's
want
what I'm
them-
getting at right there. Right
you,
there.
You have to promote yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like, people like, hey, put me in the show, give me a show, blah, 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 blah. And I look and I'm watching the numbers and they sold,
They're not
2
doing anything.
tickets. Like, so I know you're not promoting.
Right.
You're not like don't put everything on me. Well, you're not, but look, I'm doing my part,
Yeah.
But dude, if you got, and this happens, right? If you can't get, 10 people to show up between family members and friends,
Mhm.
either it's two things, you're not working at it, you suck, or your family and friends are tired of listening to you. They're like, oh no, not another show.
Right.
So
You got to have an organic reach.
you do have, and things have to happen organically. Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I figured, like, even with Michael, we're just talking about this. It's like, to try and find new band members to and it's not happening. Everything's a problem, right? Well, this person didn't show up, or this person, and I gotta. If it's not happening organically, right out the gate, I'm a little like, I don't know, because I don't, I shouldn't be working as hard. So yeah. So I want them to do that. I want them to plug themselves, rehearse, be hungry, stay thirsty.
Well, some of those same people are so resistant to promoting themselves.
Like
maybe they're going to lean on you or the venue to do everything, but that's not the only show that venue has.
Yeah, and when I say promote yourself, I don't mean doing the physical promoting, but pop up something on Instagram. And give me some fresh ideas. Let's make some public appearances. Let's do some podcasts.
This is where the people are hanging out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So,
yeah. I think it's really, but some of those bands are so resistant. Like, I don't want my page to be an advertisement or.
Well, so and here's the thing too with musicians. If I'm managing a group and working with a group, I want them to stay focused on the music, right? Like, I don't want them to have to worry about booking a show, right, or dealing with the contract or anything like that. I want them to focus on the music, right? But with promotions, it's a little different because you need to promote yourself. You have to.
Yeah.
But as far as all the booking process and all the little things, the intricacies, they don't need to be thinking about that. Need to work on your craft.
You asked me like how long have I done this show? 148 episodes, right? And when I started getting into having guests, I wanted to promote that. And so, so just like with you and everybody else, I'm like, I need some pictures to choose from to make this artwork and get it out there, and so that people know about it, and they say, on the Drummergy podcast, we got Rick Oliver today.
Yeah, well, thank you. You did a good job with that photo too, man. Yeah, you made me look good. Thank you.
When the subject looks good.
Oh, come on. Come on, Fred. I know you're the head of FFU.
I am.
I know.
Tell me more.
Right, man.
Well, Rick, thank you so much for being here today. I really respect you and our friendship that we have, and I've really enjoyed getting to know you over the last few years and working with you occasionally, and it's always been a pleasant experience. There's never in any involvement I've had with you where I went, man, there's no gaps, there's no holes for things to screw it up, or
Fred,
because I've been on the whipping end before.
I bet, and
it's not a pleasant place to be.
No, well, first of all, thank you for your kind words, Fred. And I work with musicians and individuals who, like, I'm really excited to work with, right?
Yeah.
And if the work becomes work and not fun, if it doesn't flow organically, dude, let's just do it and get it over with, and then I don't want to see you again, or vice versa, So it's been a pleasure, and everybody I work with here in town is pretty easy. Sometimes I get some Vegas acts give me a hard time, but for the most part, you guys are great, man. Thanks for having me on the show. I know we've been talking about it for a while. Like, Greg, I gotta have you on the show. And then I saw John on the show, and I was like, well, whatever.
But could you imagine if I had you on? Imagine the calls and texts I'd be getting from John.
Exactly.
You had Rick on before
you would be like, I'm not doing your show because you had Rick on there.
Well, they say save the best for last.
Oh. But you got out coming in 2 weeks.
Fred.
FFU.
There you go. Where do I sign up?
The School of Fred is right here.
Yes. That was good. That was good.
Man.
Jamie says,
that Jamie
see Rick, let's talk soon, buddy.
Hey, what's happening, Jamie? Definitely.
Oh, we got one from Miguel.
Miguel says, my biggest pet peeve is when I play with people that think that a place is solely responsible for getting people there. I'm pretty sure they are hiring us to benefit from our followers.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
That's
a
definitely
two-way
always going to
street.
be a factor when you're trying to get in with a venue. Is okay. Well, how many people? Because they're in business.
They're in business. Well, how many people can you get?
Yeah.
And like, well, I don't have an answer to that. So Some venues hire you to get more business, right? To get more
Yeah.
people through the door.
Yeah.
Some venues hire you for background music, and they'll let you know that right away. You know, like
Yeah.
they'll have a TV going, you know, a game on with the band, you know, playing, and I'm like, you know what, we're not playing here.
Right.
You know, like either turn the TV off
Yeah.
or out of here. To me, it's disrespectful, but that tells you a little bit about the venue itself and the venue owners and who you're dealing with.
100%. Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what, if you don't have respect for the musicians, and I stick up for my musician,
Yeah.
you know, 100%, 100%. That's, you know, probably why I get a little bit more, you know, because I'm there, you know. So I get you.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%, Miguel. Thanks for that comment, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, Rick, thanks for being here. The producer is going to make us breakfast,
Woohoo.
Okay.
and we can keep hanging out for a while.
That sounds good.
and we'll
And thank you, Mary, too. Thank you for
Thanks for
having me
coming.
and all the work you're doing back there.
Oh,
And thanks for showing up and showing out at some of these events I had
of
with
course.
Casio Dream.
Yeah, we love it.
All right.
you know what's so
Thank you.
strange?
Uh-oh. He's
Is-
pointing me and says, you know what's so strange?
Well, so I had this brief moment in my career where Midline had a
no.
lot of stuff going on, and
I know where you're
we were
going
on the
with this.
radio and all that. So you'd be around town and people would recognize you, of course, and they'd
Mhm.
say, "Hey, you're the drummer from Midline," and all the guys in the band experienced that, right?
Right.
Well, and then that went away. Well, now I'm walking around the mall or I'm walking around just anywhere, and Mary's with me, and you'll see people go, and then they'll be like,
Yeah.
they're like, "Hey, are you the singer for Casio Dreams?" She's like, "Yeah." And we went to Maddie's a couple weeks ago and saw
Oh,
a
that
band
was funny.
play.
Oh, that was
And-
really
And
funny.
we were sitting at a table kind of towards the back, just, you know, observing and getting a couple drinks. And I see this woman walking towards us, and she gets right up to the table and she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were somebody else." And Mary says, "Well, who did you think I was?" She said, "Well, I thought you were married." She goes, "Well, I am married." And she goes, "Are you the singer for Casio Dreams?" And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh," and give
Wow.
her a big hug. We don't even know who she was, but
And she had some guy with her.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
Guy.
That's great, but
That's
Mary,
not
you
the
have
drummer.
a great following. It's almost a cult-like following. Like, you know, they dress up like Madonna and
Yeah.
you know Cyndi Lauper, and it
Yeah.
looks like, you
Yeah.
know,
yeah,
these some, you know,
they know what they're doing.
they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it's
yeah.
all ages too. You
Yeah.
know, all ages.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great. Good job.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for tuning
Thank
in,
you.
guys. I'll see you next week. Good talk today. Thanks, Miguel. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you all for
Don't
tuning
forget
in.
today is I Love You Day.
Yeah, I love you, Dave.
Dave.
I love you day.
Say I love you to
That's-
everyone you see.
that's
Bald
right.
and proud
Make
day.
the world a
That's
better
enough.
place and just
Absolutely.
say I love you. All right, we're gonna end this and we're gonna go eat French toast.
I'm
There you go.
starting with
Take
the
care. Thanks again, Fred.
You bet,
Thanks,
buddy.
Mary.
Thanks.